Naruto God Level System, Chapter 361 to 380. Chapter 361 Hidan whose IQ is not online. Sasuke Uchiha glanced at Kakashi, then shook his head painfully. Sharingan in his eyes turned, but his eyes were a bit strange. One eye was 1 Tomo Sharingan, the other was 2 Tomo Sharingan. Under normal circumstances, both eyes will evolve at the same time. Uchiha Sasuke is really strange. I'm fine. Uchiha Sasuke pulled out the Senbon from his body. In fact, the damage of this kind of ninja is very low. As long as you don't hit the key points, or apply poison on Chinbun, the damage of Chinbun is really touching. You can see that Sasuke has suffered so many thousands of books without dying. But being stabbed with dozens of needles will definitely not feel good. It's fine, I'll go see Naruto. Kakashi walked towards the unconscious Naruto. Just now Naruto actually broke out Kyuubi, Nine-Tails chakra, and a tail appeared behind him. That Kyuubi, Nine-Tails chakra really scared Kakashi. If it wasn't for Kakashi who was fighting Zaibushin, he wouldn't be able to get away at that time, and he would definitely come to check on Naruto's situation at the first time. How terrible Kyuubi, Nine-Tails is, Kakashi, who has experienced the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails rebellion, knows best. His teacher Namikaze Minato sacrificed to seal Kyuubi, Nine-Tails. If Kyuubi, Nine-Tails run away, that's a disaster. The seal of Uzumaki Naruto and found that the seal had not changed, and Kakashi was completely relieved. It should be a special case, or Kyuubi, Nine-Tails lent his power to Naruto voluntarily. Kakashi said secretly. However, he also knew that the latter one should be impossible, so this time should be a special case. Kakashi, I wonder if you still have the strength to deal with them. Hyuga-chen pointed not far away. Kakashi looked over, and his face changed immediately. The 5 members of Akatsuki stood there. The breeze was blowing. Akatsuki's windbreaker fluttered in the wind, and the wind chimes on the hat made a crisp sound. Uchiha Sasuke saw Uchiha Itachi standing in the middle at a glance, and all of a sudden his eyes were Yuhi. Uchiha Itachi, I'm going to kill you. Uchiha Sasuke, who lost his mind, rushed up, and was kicked back by Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke, don't be impulsive. Kakashi caught Uchiha Sasuke and looked at the group in front of him vigilantly. He doesn't know all of these people, but everyone's momentum is not weak, and there is also the famous genius Uchiha Itachi. In fact, Kakashi is even more talented than Uchiha Itachi, but because of various things, his current strength is a bit ugly. Chen, you are here too. Naoki came over and spread his arms, wanting to give Hyuga-chen a hug. But Hyuga-chen didn't want to hug Naoki, so he kicked him out without hesitation. You walk away from me, I won't hug a man, especially if this man is gay. Hyuga-chen said blankly. What? Senju Naoki is gay? Even the arrogant and mindless Hidan was startled. This kind of thing should be the most terrifying creature, and it seems that he will avoid Senju Naoki in the future. I'm not gay, I swear to God, Naoki said, spitting up blood in frustration. Then a thunderbolt flashed across the sky, hitting Naoki precisely. Naoki exhaled a puff of black smoke, and fell to the ground. I said that I'm not gay, even God can't stand it, and I want to punish you with thunder. Hyuga-chen teased. Bullshit, you're the one who did it. Naoki sat up, electric current running through his body. Death to this uncle will take you to Matsuri to dedicate to the evil god. Hidan waved his scythe and jumped out to find a sense of existence. But this guy jumped in front of Hyuga-chen to find a sense of existence, and he was trying to die. To be honest, Hidan is definitely the weakest among Akatsuki's staff. The physical skills can only be said to be okay, and the IQ is even negative. I'm still curious about your immortality. I wonder if you can still live after you turn into a pile of blood. Hyuga-chen's eyes showed a hint of interest. A chill suddenly flashed in Hidan's heart, as if he was being targeted by some wild beast. His body shivered. Hyuga-chen took out a gleaming scythe and instantly cut off Hidan's bloody March sickle. How about my sickle? Is it stronger than yours? Hyuga-chen said playfully. This side was robbed from Uchiha Madara, but it has never been used, and this is the first time Hyuga-san has used it. Hidan's one in terms of shape, its sharpness is stronger than that of Hidan's sickle. To destroy my scythe, I want to dedicate your Matsuri to the evil god. Hidan yelled angrily because the scythe was destroyed. Then he punched him without thinking, and he didn't even look at the difference in strength between the two sides. No wonder he fell into the hands of Nara Shikamaru, his IQ was a flaw. A cold light flashed, and Hidan's body was separated instantly. But the amazing thing is that Hidan is not dead, and the head that was cut off is still talking cursing. What's going on? Sakura and Ino hugged each other, and they were terrified that someone had been decapitated and was still alive. Even Hinata was taken aback and reached out to grab Hyuga-chan's clothes. The unknown is the most frightening. You cowards are afraid. This uncle will dedicate all of you Matsuri to the evil god. I think the evil god will definitely be very happy. Hidan laughed wildly. Really? Actually, I'm really interested in the evil spirits. Can you let the evil spirits come out to meet? There are two other things that can arouse Hyuga-chan's interest in the entire Hokage world. One of them is the evil god, and the other is the god of death. Hyuga-chan, the god of death, has never seen it, but it is guessed that it should be inseparable from Otsutsuki Hagoromo. But what is the evil god? Hyuga-chan said that he does not know. Is it real, or does it not exist at all, and was it fabricated by the evil god sect? What qualifications do you have to let Lord Cthulhu come out to meet? Cthulhu is the greatest god. Hidan's expression was crazy, like a fanatic. In fact, Hidan was originally a fanatic who believed in evil gods. Looks like I'll give you some electrotherapy so that you can be honest. Hyuga-chan's hands shone with lightning. 60 million volts Thunder Dragon. Hidan's body was completely destroyed by the shining Thunder Dragon, and it has turned into a pile of coke. Now Hidan only has one head left, and it was Hyuga-chan who left it on purpose. Hyuga-chan really wanted to know whether the evil spirits were fabricated by the evil spirits, or real. After all, Hidan's immortality is a bit weird. Now Hidan's body is charred, and all he has left is a head. Damn, you actually destroyed my body. Hidan yelled, panicking at the same time. If the body is gone, wouldn't he be like this forever? Soul pumping. Hyuga-chan ignored Hidan's clamor, and directly used Rinnegan's soul-pumping ability to check Hidan's memory, trying to find clues about the evil god in Hidan's memory. Chapter 362 Hidan dies. Looking at Hidan's memory, Hyuga-chan did not find any evidence of the true existence of the evil god, and Hidan's immortality was obtained through the ritual of the evil god. According to Hyuga-chan's speculation, 80% of the evil gods do not exist at all, and the immortal body is probably made up by them. After all, only Hidan succeeded, everyone else failed, and Hidan was the only successful case. It's a pity that the people of the evil gods have all died, and all Matsuri was dedicated to the evil gods by Hidan. According to Hidan's words, that is to send them the faithful servants of the evil god to serve the evil god. A thunderbolt descended from the sky, slicing the remaining head of Hidan into charcoal. The guy who never killed, is he dead now? Kisame Hoshigaki grinned and pointed Kiba. Kisame Hoshigaki looks so individual. Hyuga-chan even wondered if he was a human. Could it be a cross between a human and a shark? It's good that this guy Hidan is dead, and it saves me procrastinating all day long and delaying me making money. Kakuzu said lightly. Every time this guy Hidan kills, he has to perform the ritual of the evil gods. Kakuzu gets angry when he sees it. Now that Hidan is dead, Kakuzu is not at all sad. What's more, Kakuzu is a ruthless person. He has no companions in his eyes. He has always believed that only money will not betray him. Uchiha Itachi frowned. He knew that Hidan's strength was poor, but he didn't expect that in just a short time, Hidan would turn into a cloud of ashes. Uchiha Itachi wanted to take the opportunity to observe Hyuga-chan's strength, but it was clear that Hidan couldn't let Hyuga-chan show his strength at all. Uchiha Itachi, I'm going to kill you. Uchiha Sasuke, who had been knocked unconscious by Uchiha Itachi kicked, woke up and roared loudly. Sasuke, you must calm down. Kakashi pulled Uchiha Sasuke with a headache. With Uchiha Sasuke's strength, Uchiha Itachi can kill him with a wave of his hand. You let me go, I must kill that man, I must. Before Uchiha Sasuke could finish speaking, he rolled his eyes and fainted. Kakashi put away his knife helplessly, and handed Sasuke Uchiha, who fell to the ground, to Inuzuka Kiba to watch. Uchiha Sasuke was too impulsive, and Kakashi knocked him out for his safety, otherwise who knows if Uchiha Itachi, a ruthless man, would kill him. This is the first time I took my disciples on a mission, and I encountered such a situation. Kakashi said helplessly. In this case, the cage-level masters are here, and it is not enough to see, Kakashi is not sure about anyone. The only person who can be sure was killed by Hyuga-chan with a thunderbolt. Now he can only look at Hyuga-chan. Kakashi looked at Hyuga-chan. If Hyuga-chan didn't take action, their 7th squad would be wiped out. Hidan just died like this, and I'll never hear Hidan's chatter again. Naoki sighed while sitting on the ground. Don't sigh, let's find a way to get out now. Kisame Hoshigaki pulled out the shark muscle behind him. The shark muscle is not so much a knife as it is a living creature. It is a living knife. The shark muscle is a small fish that follows the 3 tails and is responsible for helping the 3 tails absorb and consume chakra. It is usually attached to the stomach of the 3 tails, responsible for cleaning up the residue, and sucking food from the stomach of the 3 tails, extracting a large amount of chakra, and then sending the chakra back to the 3 tails. Kisame Hoshigaki looked at Hyuga Tatsu, then at Kakashi, and then aimed at Kakashi. Because he thinks that Kakashi is still easy to bully, and Kakashi and the ghosts will not fight again before, although he is not injured, but the consumption is not small. Kakashi was originally the kind of person with a small amount of blue, and if he did not fight again, his chakra was running out. Kisame Hoshigaki waved his shark muscles and smashed Kakashi out. Don't look at Kisame Hoshigaki as a sidekick in front of Uchiha Itachi, but his strength is not weak. The whole Akatsuki, Kisame Hoshigaki's strength can also be ranked first, especially his chakra is a lot, known as the tailless beast. Just as soon as they fought, Kakashi was beaten back and forth, but Kakashi was Hitaki 55 after all. Even if his state was not good, he could also make a few moves against Kisame Hoshigaki, who was stronger than him. Hinata, you deal with the 3 of them. Did that uncle fight too? Hinata pointed at Senju Naoki. Hyuga-chan gave a smirk, and then said, beat me to death. Naoki, who was sitting on the ground, turned green. Hey! Why do you even fight with me? I surrender. Naoki raised his hand to signal his surrender. Tenseigan, open! Hinata shouted coquettishly, her pure white eyes turned into blue Tenseigan, and her huge pupil power burst out. It's this kind of pressure again. Uchiha Itachi became vigilant. He was almost killed by Hinata last time. If it wasn't for Hinata's mercy, Uchiha Itachi would have died. You all be careful, don't be careless if you think the other party is a little girl, Uchiha Itachi reminded. Do you still use you as a reminder? Kakuzu glanced at Uchiha Itachi lightly, and the raised hair had already told him the danger. Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Under the control of Hinata, the repulsive force was released in a fan shape. Hinata did not hold back at all, and the trees were uprooted. Damn it, I'm actually attacking too. Naoki yelled, then used the Mokuden wood-style Hobi wood expulsion technique to shield himself. Naoki had a Mokuden wood-style defense, and he held off Shinra Tensei Almighty Push, but Kakuzu wasn't so lucky. Kakuzu's 4 hearts are broken. Uchiha Itachi has Susanoo, and relies on Susanoo's defense to block Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. 8 trigrams breaking the mountain. The chakra ray shattered the cracked Mokuden wood-style Hobi wood expulsion technique, and then hit Naoki, who flew out and smashed the rocks. Damn it, this little girl is so ruthless, don't you see that Chen and I are very familiar? Naoki said, clutching his chest and vomiting blood. Mokuden wood-style wood golem jutsu. The 100-meter-tall wooden figurine is very conspicuous and a little shocking. Even Uchiha Itachi couldn't help but be shocked. His full-strength Susanoo was only half of the wooden figurine at most. Senju Naoki actually no Mokuden wood-style. Uchiha Itachi frowned secretly. Mokuden wood-style, this guy Naoki is hiding deep enough. Kakuzu said secretly, and at the same time his body backed away. He is not in a good state now. The old man Dasna hid in the corner and stared blankly at this scene. He really wanted to go out and say stop fighting. If he fought the land of waves again, it would be gone, but Dishonor didn't have the courage to go out. This guy Naoki has awakened Mokuden wood-style. If Tsunade finds out, he should be very happy. Hyuga said with a light smile. Tsunade has always wanted to get Mokuden wood-style, but she has never been able to wake up. If Naoki really knows Mokuden wood-style, it is estimated that he will be relieved. Tsunade wants Mokuden wood-style not for power, but for the sake of Mokuden wood-style of the Senju family. In fact, what Hyuga Chen didn't know is that now Tsunade has also awakened Mokuden wood-style. Chapter 363 The Battle of Hinata. Little girl, I'm not afraid of you. If I lose in the hands of a little girl, wouldn't I be embarrassed? Naoki stood on top of the wooden man's head. Is this the power of Mokuden wood-style? I remember Brother Chen, you can also use Mokuden wood-style. Can you use such a powerful ninjutsu tilde? Sakura asked. Of course I can, and what I use is definitely bigger than this. For me, everything is trivial, and there is nothing I can't do. Hyuga Chen said proudly. Really? Then Brother Chen, can you have children too? Ino said with a smirk. I can't have a baby, but I can create a baby. Hyuga-chan said meaningfully. Brother Chen, are you good or bad? The two women looked at each other, and then said coquettishly. You two are thinking crookedly, it seems that your minds are not healthy. This is what I said about creating a child. Hyuga-chan opened his hand, and a beautiful butterfly was born out of nothing in his hand. Wow, such a beautiful butterfly. I didn't expect you to be a magician, Brother Chen. Ino's eyes were filled with little stars. Hyuga Chen is speechless, a child without knowledge. Can't you see that this is a creation of the void, creating life? Put me together with the magicians who are performing. Brother Chen, you don't seem happy. Did we say something wrong? Sakura glanced at Hyuga Chen carefully. It's nothing. Hyuga Chen shook his head. They had little knowledge, so they couldn't see that Hyuga Chen didn't blame them. Tenseigen spirituality. Hinata channeled the big stone statue. In terms of size, the big stone statue was taller than the wooden man, which shocked many people. Especially the people in the country of waves. Looking at the huge and scary stone statues and wooden figures, they are scared to faint. Is this to destroy their country of waves? Boom. The fist collided, and the wooden figurine took a dozen steps back, but with the wooden figurine's height, these 10 steps were hundreds of meters. The Tenseigen stone statue didn't move at all, and stepped forward to hit the wooden man. The wooden man is not the opponent of the stone statue at all. He was beaten and retreated. In the end, Naoki used the wooden dragon to temporarily stabilize. Statue does not need to be controlled by Hinata at all. It can fight by itself, and as long as Hinata is not defeated, the statue will never disappear. Drink tilde, Hinata's figure disappeared, and the speed was unimaginable. The target was not Uchiha Itachi, but Kakuzu, who was retreating in the distance. Not good. A sense of crisis rose in Kakuzu's heart. This sense of crisis has saved him many times over the years. Now Kakuzu has destroyed 4 hearts. Which means he has 1 life now. If this heart is destroyed, he will die. Living for so many years, Kakuzu never thought about death. He was a ninja who fought the first Hokage, how could he die at the hands of a little girl? Under the crisis, Kakuzu burst into unprecedented potential. Before Hinata wrapped Chakra's palm and hit him, his body shifted to a vital part. Was knocked flying by Hinata, but Kakuzu saved his life by avoiding the key point. Gentle fist law soft step double lion boxing. Seeing that Kakuzu was not dead, Hinata chased after the victory, and Hinata's fist formed a lion head composed of 2 chakras. Just when Kakuzu was desperate, Uchiha Itachi stepped forward and saved Kakuzu, and Susanoo's defense blocked Hinata's fist. 8 trigrams 128 palms. Hinata's attacks were continuous, one move after another, and the fist and palm prints hit Susanoo. The powerful force made Susanoo shake, and even was cracked by Hinata. Really strong. Kakuzu fainted after saying that. Uchiha Itachi's eyes were bleeding, his body was accompanied by bone-piercing pain, and his vision had begun to blur. Uchiha Itachi and Kakashi belong to the same type, and they can't fight for a long time at all. His chakra and pupil strength can't support him in a long battle. At this point in the battle, Uchiha Itachi could no longer hold on, and it had not been 3 minutes since the start of the battle. Main reason is that Uchiha Itachi's pupil strength can't keep up, but his chakra is still sufficient. No, Susanoo can't be used anymore. After blocking Hinata's 8 trigrams 128 palms, Uchiha Itachi released the cracked Susanoo. Although Susanoo is powerful, it can't help Hinata. Continuing to use Susanoo will only defeat faster. Disarming Susanoo, Uchiha Itachi became less passive when facing Hinata. Susanoo's size is big, and the attack can't be avoided at all, and now Uchiha Itachi can dodge it with a skilled telekinesis. Bansho Tenon Universal Pull. Hinata squeaked, pulling Uchiha Itachi over, before hitting Gentle Fist 8 trigrams 64 palms. Bump. Uchiha Itachi, who was hit, turned into a piece of wood and disappeared, and Hinata's eyes immediately froze. Kaden Fire Style Fierce Dragon Flame Jutsu. 8 trigrams Revolving Heaven. The moment Uchiha Itachi uses the double, Hinata uses Revolving Heaven, and Uchiha Itachi's Kaden Fire Style is defended by Revolving Heaven. 8 trigrams Sky Strike. Hinata used a self-created move to hit a vacuum fist that was invisible to the naked eye, knocking Uchiha Itachi out, and blood spilled on the ground. Hinata is amazing. Hinata did a great job. Sakura and Ino danced to cheer for Hinata. The situation is bad. Kisame Hoshigaki suppressed Kakashi while watching the situation on the other side. At this point Kakuzu had fallen, Uchiha Itachi was seriously injured, and Senju Naoki was beaten by the stone statue. Kakashi was also watching over there. Seeing that the weak little girl Hinata was fighting 3 times and winning a big victory, Kakashi didn't want to say anything anymore. This was really a big blow to him, and he had lived on the dog for more than 20 years. Of course, Kakashi is so weak now that he is completely dragged down by Sharingan. Otherwise, with Kakashi's talent, no matter how decadent he is, he cannot only have the strength of elite Jonin. Tenseigan Chakra Pattern. Hinata was covered in white chakra flames, and his strength increased explosively. With a movement of his feet, he instantly came to the sky where the wooden man and the stone statue were fighting. 8 trigrams Shenkong Strike. The huge vacuum fist shattered the wooden man and the wooden dragon. If Naoki hadn't run fast, he would have suffered a serious injury. Kisame Hoshigaki sighed in an instant, and punched him away with a punch. There was a lot of power in the small fist. After the blow, Kisame Hoshigaki's eyes turned white, he spat blood and passed out. 4 cage-level masters were all settled by Hinata. Of course, this is also because Hinata has Tenseigan, which is why they are so strong. Otherwise, it may be difficult to fight one. It scared me to death. Naoki stood beside Hyuga-chen, and he felt safer standing beside Hyuga-chen. Don't worry, even if the punch hits you, it won't kill you. At most, it's just a matter of lying in bed for a few days. Hyuga-chen patted Naoki on the shoulder. Chapter 364 Kill Kodo. Brother Chen. Hinata exited Tenseigan chakra mode, her eyes changed back to Byakugan again, looking up at Hyuga Chen. Good job, Hinata, you are awesome. Hyuga Chen squeezed Hinata's face and praised. Hinata also did a really good job, with super responsiveness, no panic at all, and with Tenseigan's all-round perspective, it's not a disadvantage. The all-round perspective can indeed make up for some of the lack of combat experience, plus the enhancement brought by Tenseigan, it is easy to hang them. Especially after entering the Tenseigan chakra mode, even if Nagato comes, it may not be Hinata's opponent. Let's go with the three of them. Hyuga Chen untied the barrier and said. Naoki nodded, then separated three wooden clones and left with Kakuzu, Uchiha Itachi, and Kisame Hoshigaki. How did you let them go? Kakashi looked at Hyuga Chen in surprise. If you don't let them go, do you want to invite them to dinner, is it you or I? Hyuga Chen turned over Byakugan, then took the three daughters Hinata, Sakura, and Ino to find Kaduo. This guy Cardo is too bad to do such a cruel thing. Hyuga-chan is going to perform a show of robbing the rich and helping the poor today. Came to Cardo's company. Cardo's company built very luxurious, especially compared with the surrounding buildings, like a phoenix came from the chicken coop, especially conspicuous. Looking at the company's building, I knew Cardo was a rich man. Hyuga Chen stunned. Let's go, let's rob the rich and help the poor. Because the previous battle was too fierce, all the employees of Cardo Company have gone to evacuate, not even a security guard. Let's go in, and the next battle will be left to Sakura and Ino, Hyuga Chen said. Sakura and Ino have the strength of elite Chunin, and it is still very easy to deal with the group of wandering ninjas and samurai that Kodo gathered. The Cardo building is very high, and it already stands out in the country of waves. It was only on the top floor of the company that Hyuga Chen saw Cardo. At this time, Cardo was not wearing sunglasses, with small eyes the size of mung bean, and his chubby body. If Cardo wore Might Guy's clothes, the real bastard would be born. Who are you? No one can come up here. Cardo's voice was arrogant. Boss, look at their forehead guards, it looks like Konoha's ninja. A samurai said with some fear. Since the creation of chakra, the profession of ninja was born, and professions like samurai have become less and less common. When a samurai faces a ninja, he will unconsciously lower his head. Don't I have eyes? I still need you to remind me, but there are only 4 people, even if they are ninjas, what can I do to kill them? Cardo ordered. Under the order of Cardo, the Gold Lord, although they were afraid, they still rushed forward. Looking at the people rushing over, Ino used the family's secret technique to control all of them, and then Sakura punched one, which was easily solved. After seeing Cardo, fear rose in his heart, and he involuntarily retreated to the back. Want to run? Where do you want to run? Hyuga Chen's figure appeared behind Cardo, looking at him lightly. Cardo listened to the voice behind him and turned his head quickly, with a panic on his face. Don't touch me, I'm rich, I can ask many ninjas to kill you, and it's over if you offend me. Cardo said in a panic. Hyuga Chen was speechless. How did this guy with such an IQ set up a big company and make money? If I kill you, you won't be able to hire a ninja, what do you think of my idea? Hyuga Chen jokingly looked at Cardo and kicked him to the ground. Cardo lay on the ground, sweat dripping down his face. You can't kill me, you can't kill me, I can give you money, I can give you a lot of money. Cardo said with snot and tears. I killed you, isn't all your money mine? Hyuga Chen looked at Cardo mockingly, hand over the money, maybe I can give you a good time. You want to kill me, why should I still give you money? There is no way to get my money. Cardo moved towards the back calmly. Do you still want to run away? What you think is quite beautiful. A golden light pierced Cardo's head, and Cardo couldn't rest his eyes. After Hyuga Chen killed Kodo, Sakura and Ino also eliminated all those samurai and wandering ninjas. This was the first time Sakura and Ino had murdered, and they had killed so many that the two girls couldn't take it anymore and spit it out. Hinata, who was beside him, couldn't keep his composure. He smelled the strong smell of blood and wanted to retching. Let's go. Let's leave. After the three girls calmed down, Hyuga Chen took the three girls out of Cardo's building. Brother Chen, aren't you going to get Cardo's money? Ino asked. I already asked Shadow Clone to get it. Cardo is really rich, and I don't know how he made the money with his IQ. Hyuga Chen said with a slight smile. Hyuga Chen and the three daughters walked out of the building. The sturdy building collapsed instantly and was razed to the ground. Hyuga-chan and the others did not go to join Kakashi, but returned directly to Konoha. How does it feel to come out this time? Hyuga-chan asked the three girls. It doesn't feel anything, Hinata said after thinking. I feel like it's not as good as Konoha outside. Ino said, being used to living in a bustling place like Konoha, it's really uncomfortable to come out. Sakura nodded along. This time out was really not as good as they thought, but after going out of the village this time, they also grew a lot. Not only has the strength improved a bit, but the most important thing is that seeing the blood, the mood has changed. 2 days later, they finally returned to Konoha. Sakura said goodbye to Ino, and then went back to wash up. Going out is no better than going home. They couldn't stand it after a few days without bathing and loving cleanliness. They came back. Kakashi and the others were forced. After 2 days of waiting in the land of waves, they didn't see Hyuga-chen and the others at all. At this time, Kakashi also knew that Hyuga-chen and the others had left, so he could only shake his head with a wry smile. Go back and don't say anything to them, and they will wait in the country of waves. But even if I told them, Kakashi and the others would not be able to come back with Hyuga-chen. Sasuke Uchiha is now seriously injured and has to recover for a few days. Uzumaki Naruto is okay. After waking up, there is no shit, completely, and Uchiha Sasuke are 2 states. Uchiha Sasuke woke up, thinking about Uchiha Itachi. Originally, when he swore to see Uchiha Itachi again, it was time for him to avenge his clan. But when he really met Uchiha Itachi, he realized that he was still the same as when he was a child, and he had no strength to resist when facing Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Sasuke, who woke up, was a little depressed, and Uzumaki Naruto could not comfort Sasuke. Kakashi kept all of this in his eyes, and he couldn't help it, so Sasuke could only come out on his own. Chapter 365 Izumi and Karen. Why are you here? Where are Makoto, Kushina and the others? Hyuga-chan asked, looking at Uchiha Izumi. Don't look, Sister Makoto and the others are in the village of Kurigakure, just the 2 of us, Uchiha Izumi said. Karen, cheer me up, my saliva is flowing. Izumi looked at Uzumaki Karen, who was drooling next to him, and said angrily. Oh, Karen wiped the saliva from the corner of his mouth, but still looked at Hyuga-chen with a nympho. Hyuga-chen was also speechless about Karen's nympho level. Ino and Sakura were little sisters in front of Karen. We brought the Kurigakure village genin to take the Chunin exam, by the way, to find you to solve the eye problem. Uchiha Izumi turned on Mangekyo Sharingan. Yo, I didn't expect you to turn on Mangekyo Sharingan, Izumi. Hyuga-chen was a little surprised. With Izumi's talent not weaker than Uchiha Itachi, naturally he has the talent to open Mangekyo Sharingan, but Mangekyo Sharingan is not so easy to open. When Izumi was more than 6 years old, because of the death of his parents in the Kyuubi Nine Tails incident, he evolved into 3-Tomo Sharingan. It can be said that looking at the Uchiha family, it is estimated that there is no way to find it. But after that, Uchiha Izumi's Sharingan has been in 3-Tomo, and it was not until 10 years ago that Mangekyo Sharingan was opened by practicing Yin Escape. Opening Mangekyo Sharingan, in addition to the high-efficiency method of mental stimulation, is the method of slowly cultivating Yin Escape. However, the effect is very slow. It has been 12 years since Uchiha Izumi successfully opened Mangekyo Sharingan. This is because of Izumi's talent. If you asked me to help you, Mangekyo Sharingan would have been turned on by now. Hyuga-chan said. I won't let you help me. Makoto told her that the quickest way to start Mangekyo Sharingan is mental stimulation. Thinking of the scene of opening Sharingan as a child, Uchiha Izumi gave up without hesitation. I'll give you this bottle of potion, so that you won't be afraid of blindness when you use Mangekyo Sharingan in the future, and you can evolve into a Rinnegan. Hyuga-chen took out the Rinnegan potion that had been in his backpack for a long time. Uchiha Izumi drank it without hesitation. The pattern of Mangekyo Sharingan changed and became more complex, successfully evolved into Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and then the change did not stop, and finally turned into Purple Rinnegan. Uchiha Izumi felt the pupil power hundreds of times stronger than before, as if it could easily destroy the world. But this is all an illusion caused by Uchiha Izumi's surge in power. Rinnegan is indeed powerful, but wanting to destroy the world is just a joke. Hyuga-chen silently took out a mirror and handed it over. Why? Uchiha Izumi asked, taking the mirror. You are really ugly now. If you don't believe me, take a look. Hyuga-chen complained. Uchiha Izumi pouted and said she was ugly and unhappy. I took the mirror and looked at it, and it felt okay, not too ugly, but not good looking. Karen, am I ugly now? Uchiha Izumi turned to ask Uzumaki Karen. However, Uzumaki Karen didn't even look at her, staring at Hyuga-chen infatuatedly, and Hyuga-chen, who was staring at her, felt a lot of pressure. Whirlpool, vortex, incense, phosphorus. Izumi's shouting finally made the nympho Uzumaki Karen come back to his senses and looked at Izumi blankly. Izumi, are you calling me? Karen asked blankly. Usually, you are very smart. Why are you like a fool now? Your antomaniac is really too serious. Izumi said angrily. I want to ask you if I'm a little ugly now. Karen glanced up and down at Izumi, looking at her Rinnegan like amethyst, but the black circles in her eyes ruined the beauty. It's really ugly. It would look better if the black circles in the eyes were removed. Karen commented very pertinently. Fortunately, your Rinnegan is dark purple. If it was lavender, it would be even uglier. Hyuga-chan said. Ah, don't say it, it is really awkward. Izumi is angry, putting the floor. You are responsible for repairing the broken floor, otherwise be careful and I will clean you up. After Hyuga-chen finished speaking, he dodged and disappeared. Damn, it's really annoying. Izumi punched down angrily, smashing the table next to it into a pile of sawdust. If you break the table, Brother Chen will be angry when he comes back. Maybe he will clean up the two of us, haha tilde. I'll kill you rascal. The irascible Izumi punched Karen, who covered his head and ran to the corner to cry. Wu tilde Izumi is bullying me. I'm going to go to Brother Chen to complain, just wait for me. Izumi glanced at Karen helplessly, and then cleaned up the room. Otherwise, when Hyuga-chen came back and saw the floor full of wood chips and the floor that had not been repaired, she would be the one crying in the corner. Hyuga-chen came to the residence of the girls in the village of Kurigakure. Yo yo yo, which gust of wind is blowing you? Tsunade, who was playing mahjong, raised his head to see Hyuga-chen, then pushed the mahjong tile and stood up and said. The cards were so bad that Hyuga-chan's arrival just gave Tsunade an excuse. Tisk tisk, it's really unbranded. Kushina stood up and glanced at Tsunade with contempt. She was about to lose all of her, but Tsunade slipped away. Indeed. Makoto covered his mouth and smiled. I'll never play with you again, or I'll be a puppy. Terumi Mei said unhappily. Aren't you a dog? My brother's little dog, Conan whispered as he leaned into Terumi Mei's ear. I have to say that Conan has also begun to learn badly. Conan never dared to say such things before. Conan, what are you talking about? You're not like me, I'll kill you, Wong Wong tilde. Terumi Mei really took a bite. Chen wants to hug. Otsutsuki Kagaya threw himself into Hyuga-chen's arms directly. Kagaya, your hair is so long, why don't you cut it? Hyuga-chen looked at Otsutsuki Kagaya's hair fluttering in the air. If 980 hadn't made Kagaya's hair flutter, her hair would have been mopping the floor. I don't want it. Kagaya shook her head quickly. For her long hair, Kagaya is very precious. If someone else said she was going to cut her hair, Kagaya would never say anything else. First give you an all-killing ash bones, and if not dead, then a golden wheel. Hyuga-chan gave Kagaya a bottle of Tensagen potion, and now Kagaya has Tensagen, and now Kagaya's strength has returned to its peak state. Even stronger than before, because Kagaya's skills are now greatly enhanced, and he is no longer a person who only uses his ultimate to fight. Teacher, you haven't come to see us for a long time. Kurenai Yuhi tugged at Hyuga-chan's sleeve and looked at him resentfully. The three girls, Yugao, Rin and Anko, also looked at Hyuga-chan with the same resentful eyes, and Hyuga-chan's scalp felt numb. Samui, Azabui, Yugito, and Pakura, the four little maids next to them, looked at Hyuga-chan with resentment. Seeing so many resentful eyes, Hyuga-chan said that he knelt down. He just hadn't come for a week. Is there such a grudge? Tenten went to accompany Shuiheim at night, and I don't know how to accompany us. I'm not happy, Sarah said with a small mouth. Hyuga-chan's mouth twitched, looking at Shizune who was standing beside him, thinking that Shizune is better. All right. In fact, Shizune felt resentment in his heart, but he didn't show it. Chapter 366 The Battle of Kushina and Kagaya. Izumi and Karen went to Konoha. Makoto poured Hyuga Tatsu a cup of tea and asked softly. Here, to be honest, I was a little surprised when I saw the two of them. Hyuga-chan took a sip from the teacup. Actually, Izumi was only asked to go by herself, but Karen's girl insisted on going. Kushina said while sorting out the mahjong. Speaking of Terumi Mei, you are a Mizukage, do you play mahjong at home all day? Hyuga-chan turned to Terumi Mei who was lying on his back and asked. Does it matter? I'm Mizukage just for fun, it's impossible for me to go to the office all day. Terumi Mei said lazily, lying on Hyuga-chan. As the fifth-generation Mizukage of Kurigakure village, Terumi Mei is completely unqualified, and doesn't care about anything in Kurigakure village, big or small. I leave everything to my subordinates, and I completely slack off the boss, which is more lazy than Hyuga-chan. However, Terumi Mei's body is really soft, lying on Hyuga-chan's body, making Hyuga-chan a little confused. It seems that there will be another unparalleled battle tonight. Come on, open your mouth, my lord. Tsunade held a cherry and put it in Hyuga Tatsu's mouth. Well done, I will reward you well in the evening. Hyuga-chan looked at Tsunade with satisfaction. Who needs your reward? Tsunade gave Hyuga-chan a nice Byakugan. The two of you were stunned, and you didn't see that the tea of the eldest man was gone, so hurry up and refill it for me. Hyuga-chan turned to the little maids Samui and Yugito. Samui and Yugito looked at each other, pouted and poured tea for Hyuga-chan. Looking at the expressions of your two little maids, you seem very dissatisfied. Do you want to accept my punishment? Hyuga-chan looked at Samui and Yugito with a smirk. We don't want to be bullied by you. Samui pulled Yugito away with Yuhi's face, and made up his mind about being bullied by Hyuga-chan, feeling that his legs were a little ruan. You know how to molest women. Kushina tugged at Hyuga-chan's face jealously, and then pulled hard. I can't molest, I'm molesting you. Hyuga-chan grabbed Kushina's wrist, then pulled her into his arms, staring at her face, and a sinister smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Humph. Kushina's face Yuhi did not speak, and buried her head on Hyuga-chan's body. I want a concubine too, ying ying ying. Otsutsuki Kagaya stared at Hyuga-chan tightly, her eyes pitiful. Hyuga-chan's mouth twitched. He didn't expect Otsutsuki Kagaya to turn into a weirdo. This change is really big, and it's turned upside down. Then you. Before Hyuga-chan finished speaking, Otsutsuki Kagaya squeezed into Hyuga-chan's arms, and squeezed Kushina out, and a dove took up the magpie's nest. Kushina, who was squeezed out, was not happy, grabbed Otsutsuki Kagaya's hair, and said angrily, You old woman want to fight me? Damn, you're just my junior. You dare to be disrespectful to me, let me loose my concubine's hair. Otsutsuki Kagaya grabbed Kushina's Yuhi-colored hair without showing weakness. According to the time of entry, you old woman should call me sister. If you want your concubine to call you sister, I think you are dreaming. Two women started fighting while grabbing their hair. Hyuga-chan said that this is the battle of women. However, Hyuga-chan is also used to it. Kushina and Otsutsuki Kagaya seem to be at odds with each other, and they will fight each other in a few days. You two, stop pulling your hair. If you break your hair, it won't look good. Hyuga-chan slapped their ass. The faces of the two women were Yuhi, but they looked at each other without any signs of weakness. Neither of them would let go first, neither of them would be willing to suffer. Even if you want to let go, this old woman will let it go first, Kushina said. Why, it was you who moved first, do you think I'm easy to bully? Kagaya said angrily. This woman is so bullying, she was the one who made the first move. Hey Tilda, why did I do it? Don't you have any thoughts in your heart? Kushina raised her neck and said. Looking at the two girls who were unwilling to take any loss, Hyuga-chan looked at the other girls and wanted them to help persuade him. Makoto, Tsunade, Konan, and others gave Hyuga-chan a smile, and then sat aside to watch the play with a small bench. Although Kushina and Kagaya's fights are often staged, the girls never get tired of watching them. Just when Hyuga-chan asked the girls to persuade, the war had escalated, and Otsutsuki Kagaya, who was out of breath, stretched out his other hand, pinched Kushina's face and pulled it out. Kushina said that since she was a child, she has never suffered any losses except in the hands of Hyuga-chan. Also reached out and pinched Otsutsuki Kagaya's face, then pinched it hard. Today, I'll let you, the old woman, know how powerful I am, Kushina. Give me death. Kushina's strength began to increase. Otsutsuki Kagaya felt the pain. Although she was very strong, Kushina was not much weaker than her, and both of them were at the peak of 6 paths. So Kushina increased her strength. Of course Otsutsuki Kagaya was in pain. She did not show weakness and increased her strength. The two of them were fighting like shrew. Come on Kushina, I believe you are the strongest. Terumi Mei shouted. Come on Kagaya, defeat Kushina, you are the ancestor of chakra, how can you back down and fight Kushina to the end? Tsunade shouted. Hyuga-chan's mouth twitched. These women didn't think it was lively enough. No wonder Kushina and Kagaya had a fight in a few days. It turned out that there were women like them who were specially provocative. Hyuga-chan gave Tsunade and Terumi Mei a stern look, and they were the two of them, so I'll definitely clean up the two of them at night. Tsunade and Terumi Mei looked at Hyuga-chan's vicious eyes, looked at each other, and quickly closed their mouths. Let me go both of you, or I'll make you look good. Hyuga-chan said viciously. It seemed that these two women couldn't do anything without educating them. Humph! Kushina and Kagaya snorted coldly, then let go obediently. Chen, this old woman bullied me. Kushina looked at Hyuga-chan pitifully. Do you think you're the only one who would be pitiful? Kagaya glared at Kushina, then looked at Hyuga-chan with the same pitiful gaze. Ha ha tilde, Hyuga-chan sneered. You can't run away today. Watch me take care of you one by one, I promise to make you all satisfied. Kagaya and Kushina looked at each other with regret. I admit my mistakes, and I express my repentance. Kushina lay in Hyuga-chan's arms, rubbing her head in front of Hyuga-chan. I also express my remorse. For the sake of us all knowing it's wrong, forget it. Kagaya tugged at Hyuga-chan's arm. Hee tilde, Hyuga-chan smiled coldly. You two say forget it, how is it possible? Chapter 367 Daily Life with Girls. The next morning, Hyuga-chan pushed open the door and walked out. The 4 little maids who were cleaning the room had Yuhi glowing on their faces, and they dared not look at Hyuga-chan at all. Hyuga-chan gave a wicked smile, leaned over to Azabui, and asked, Why do you have a face Yuhi? Even your skin color can see your face Yuhi, how strange. Mabui threw the broom angrily and said angrily, can you stop talking about my skin color? Why are you so hateful? Hyuga-chen smiled. In fact, Azubui's skin is brown Yuhi color, not so dark. It's really annoying to talk about people's skin color every time. Mabui tore off his apron and sat on the chair, very angry. Actually, I was just joking. I didn't mean anything else, sorry. Hyuga-chen patted Mabui on the shoulder. Hearing Hyuga-chen's apology, Mabui felt a little better. Don't you hate my skin color? If I hate it, will it be your turn to be a maid here? Hyuga-chen asked rhetorically. Azubui was very happy, because Hyuga-chen always made fun of her skin color, so Azubui thought that Hyuga-chen hated her very much. Hyuga-chen sat on the chair. Pakura poured a glass of water for Hyuga-chen, and put it in front of Hyuga-chen. Yes, Pakura, you winked, I will reward you. Hyuga-chen raised his head and kissed Pakura's cheek. Pakura's face was Yuhi, and then he hurriedly put it aside, his heart pounding like a deer. Breakfast was ready soon, and Rin prepared the breakfast, because Makoto and Conan were a little tired from discussing important topics, so they had to let Rin make breakfast. Teacher, mistress and the rest. Let them rest first. It's all right, Hyuga-chen said. Everyone heard Hyuga-chen's words, and then remembered the voice from last night, and their cheeks suddenly became Yuhi, but they all heard the voice from yesterday. They didn't sleep at all last night, but with their strength, it's okay to not sleep all night. Do I want to go see Tsunade-sama? Shizune said while holding the piglet. Tsunade-sama's cry last night was a bit miserable, shouldn't she have a look? Shizune expressed ambivalence about this. No, with their resilience, they can come out in about the afternoon. Sure enough, in the afternoon, all the girls came out of the room one by one, with light footsteps and Yuhi's moist faces. Hatilda, Kushina lay on the sofa, her body motionless, even raising her arms with difficulty. It's all your fault, you big bad guy. Kushina said weakly, staring at Hyuga-chen fiercely. Hyuga-chen leaned over to Kushina and chuckled, do you want to try my punishment again? Do you want to kill me? You go to Makoto, I think Makoto is in good shape. Kushina pointed to his good sister. She and Makoto are the best sisters and best friends, but isn't the best friend just for cheating? Kushina, you dare to pit me, there is no reason, let's see how I deal with you. At this time, the powerless Makoto suddenly burst out and regained his strength. Makoto pinched Kushina's cheeks with both hands. Poor Kushina, her face was swollen by Makoto's pinching, but she deserved it. Sister Tsunade, hurry up and save me, pull Makoto away. Kushina shouted weakly. As the person who was being cared for by Hyuga-chen, Kushina really had no strength. It's too late to call me sister now. Tsunade flipped through Byakugan, then sat on the sofa, watching Kushina being bullied with interest. The happiest thing is Otsutsuki Kagaya, and even she wanted to take the opportunity to take revenge, but as the person who was also being cared for, she had no strength. Has the strength, Kagaya doesn't dare to go up. What if she becomes the focus of care again? She doesn't want to experience that kind of immortality again. At this point, Kagaya is glad that she survived, so don't jump first, let's calm down. From this, we can also see how intense the battle last night was. Even Schweiheim in the system space did not escape, and now Schweiheim is probably in a similar state to them. After Kushina's repeated begging for mercy, Makoto let Kushina go. Kushina covered her face on both sides and looked at Makoto resentfully, too bullying. Chen, you saw it. Makoto is bullying me, you have to avenge me and teach her a good lesson. Kushina took Hyuga-chen's hand. Kushina, you really want to die. Hyuga-chen silently backed away. After Hyuga-chen backed away, Kushina saw the expressionless Makoto behind Hyuga-chen with a look of wanting to cry on his face. Makoto, I'm actually joking with Chen. Kushina looked at Hyuga-chen with a sad face. Ah, today's sun is really round. Seeing such a round sun, I have to write a poem to express what I think in my heart. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Sun, You are so round. Hyuga-chan couldn't think of the words behind. Makoto, you have to believe I don't mean anything else, Ah. The following is Kushina's screams, it just smells sad, and I want to laugh when I see it. Be honest now, Hyuga-chan said with a smile, looking at Kushina, who was speechless and tearful. Humph. Big bastard, go away, I don't want to see you, I'm angry when I see you. Kushina pushed hard at Hyuga-chan. Ouch Kushina, don't you think it'll be easy to bully? Hyuga-chan tugged at her little face. It hurts. It's all swollen by Makoto's pinch, and you're still dragging, so let me go. Kushina screamed. Stop screaming, does it really hurt that much? You'll know if you try it. People are really hurting, and you don't know how to comfort them, woohoo. It's true or false that you cry? Yes, it's true or false, said Makoto next to him. Makoto, the two of us will never be friends, we will never be good sisters, Kushina pouted. The two of you are arguing in another place and disturbing my rest. Tsunade opened his eyes and said helplessly. Humph, you don't help me either, Tsunade, Conan, I'll cut off all of you and Kushina said with her hips on her shoulders. That's it. Then you don't want to eat the food we cook, you can cook it yourself if you want. Makoto said with a smile. I'm just joking, why are you so serious? We are the best sisters. Although you bully me, I won't blame you at all. Kushina said with a sullen face. Kushina, your integrity is 0, no, your integrity is negative. Hyuga-chan said with contempt. You still have the face to despise me, this is all learned from you. Kushina returned Hyuga-chan's contempt to Hyuga-chan. Are you trying to be stubborn with me? Hyuga-chan gestured at Kushina with a fist to deter him with force. I've bullied me, I'll ignore you. Kushina buried her head on the pillow, she said sadly that she didn't want to pay attention to these bullying guys. Chapter 368 Female Dick Karen. Hyuga-chan was in Kurigakure village and had a good time with all the girls. He didn't even know that Konoha had started fighting. No, it should be said that the fight was over. After Hyuga-chan left Konoha, Izumi repaired the broken floor and replaced the table with a new one. Hyuga-chan didn't come back in the evening, I decided to tidy up and stay here. Hinata, who went out for training in the evening, came back, and brought Sakura and Ino with them. It was Hyuga-chan who asked Hinata to take Sakura and Ino to practice. After they came back, instead of seeing Hyuga-chan, they saw two strange women, and they immediately became vigilant. As the so-called opposite sex attracts and same sex repels, the relationship between the two sides is naturally very unfriendly. Why isn't Brother Chen here? Who are you two women? Could it be a female thief who wants to steal something? Ino said bluntly. Who are you calling the thief? This is Brother Chen's home, what are we doing here? Karen is also rude, you are rude to me, do you still expect me to be polite to you? Ino and Karen got into a fight, but Ino was Karen's opponent and was suppressed by Karen with one hand. Sakura saw that Ino was being suppressed, and immediately went to help, and the two of them were tied together by Karen with adamantine sealing chains. You two are too weak. Karen chuckled. Damn, let go of us quickly, Hinata hurry to save us. Ino struggled hard, but with her strength, it was obviously impossible to break free of the seal that could bind Kyubi, Nine Tails. Seeing this scene, Hinata immediately shot, using Hyuga's gentle fist, attacked Karen, and wanted to take the opportunity to rescue Sakura and Ino. But Uchiha Izumi didn't stand watching, and easily took over Hinata's gentle fist. Izumi was taught by Makoto and was very strong. Although Hinata's strength is also very strong, it is definitely not Izumi's opponent. Even if Hinata uses Tenseigin, it is not Izumi's opponent, because now Izumi already has a Rinnegan that is not weaker than Tenseigin. This is the Hyuga family, the power of Tenseigin is too strong, and Hinata dare not use Tenseigin. Otherwise, it may affect the entire Hyuga family. So then Hinata was also defeated by Izumi and then, like Sakura and Ino, got caught. We're not bad people, I don't know where Brother Chen went. Izumi said with a smile. Aren't you bad guys? Then you let us go first, Sakura said. Karen and Izumi let go of the three girls without hesitation. Then you also know Brother Chen, who are you? Ino asked curiously. Of course I know, and I can probably guess where Brother Chen is going, and I should be back in a few days. Next, Izumi and Karen introduced themselves, and the three Hinata girls also introduced themselves politely, and they were officially acquainted. And it didn't take long for them to chat excitedly. It can only be said that the friendship of women is really strange. Just now, they had to fight and kill, but now they are as good as sisters. In Kurigakure village, Hyuga-chen is back. When they came back, they were entangled by Hinata. Brother Chen, Konoha is going to take the Chunin exam, should we take it or not? I feel that our strength is good, and Hinata alone can defeat those people. Ino said with excitement while holding Hyuga-chen's arm. If you want to participate, then do it. This Chunin exam is very interesting. Hyuga-chen smiled, and Orochimaru would also come to intervene, wouldn't it be interesting? Brother Chen, hurry up and sign up for us. Sakura said expectantly. Show off their strength in this Chunin exam. However, this Chunin exam is not ordinary, not to mention Uzumaki Naruto, the most unexpected ninja, and the Red Panda Gaara. One-tailed Jinchuriki column power, if all the strengths are upped, proper cage level strength, after all, no matter how weak one-tailed Shukaku is, it is still a tailed beast, not to mention that one-tailed is not the weakest of the tailed beasts. Of course, if you encounter Hinata, even if Kyubi, 9 tails, comes, you will have to stop. Brother Chen, you're back, why did you go? I can't find you. Hanabi rushed over from outside, hugging Hyuga-chen's neck and shaking it vigorously. You come down. Hyuga-chen pulled Hanabi down. Humph. Brother Chen, you've changed your mind, you don't like me anymore. Hanabi sat aside angrily. PFF this little girl is so cute. Izumi walked over and touched Hanabi's head. Who are you? Why haven't I seen you? Hanabi asked curiously. I'm the one who told you the day before yesterday that your brother Chen is no longer. Izumi said with a smile. It turned out to be you. You are the one who didn't open the door for me and kept me out. Bad woman, you are a bad woman. Hanabi was even more angry now. I didn't expect you to hold a grudge. Izumi sneered. Brother Chen, drink water. Karen graciously poured a glass of water for Hyuga-chen. That Karen. What's wrong? Karen looked at Hyuga-chen. Your saliva is running down again. Hyuga-chen pointed at the corner of his mouth. What? Karen quickly wiped the corners of his mouth. Yuhi's face was ashamed. He was embarrassed now. Izumi should be laughing at her now. Turning his head and seeing that Izumi was really laughing at her, Yuhi's face became even more moist. Let's talk. I'll sign up for Hinata and the others. Hyuga-chen took a sip of water, then disappeared instantly. Karen instantly took Hyuga-chen's cup over, and then licked where Hyuga-chen was drinking, with an intoxicated expression on his face. The truth deduces what is a female DOC, and she looks like a female DOC now. Izumi covered her face. She was really convinced, so she asked Karen if you dared to be a little more stupid. Hinata, Sakura, and Ino stared at Karen in astonishment, really stunned by Karen. Look at me, this is my cup. Don't grab it from me, or don't blame me for being rude to you. Karen hid the cup behind her and looked at Izumi, Hinata and the others with vigilance. You don't care about her. Her brain circuit is a little bit different from ours. Izumi said embarrassedly. She felt embarrassed for Karen. Karen was actually indifferent. Senior, why didn't I think of that? Ino bowed to Karen. The corners of Izumi's mouth twitched, and when she looked at the other two, she found that Sakura's eyes were shining brightly, that is, the shy Hinata was normal. Ho ha ho ho. Hanabi, who was squatting next to counting ants, suddenly stood up and smiled nervously. Hinata looked at Hanabi and suddenly became worried. Her sister is not stupid, is she? Otherwise, why are you laughing so weirdly? Hanabi took out a small box and said proudly, I have some lollipops that Brother Chen has not finished eating. Wow, that's amazing. I wonder if you can give me this lollipop. I'll buy you a lot of lollipops. Karen immediately leaned over. Haha Tilda, I won't give it to you if you want to be beautiful. Hanabi said with a proud face. Hanabi. Hinata tapped Hanabi. Hanabi looked up at Hinata and said, even if you were a sister, I wouldn't give it to you. Hinata said tangled. I mean, won't the lollipops melt? Hanabi's expression froze, then immediately opened the small box, looked at the lollipop that had already melted, and cried with a wow. Chapter 369 Orochimaru and Rasa. After Hyuga Chen came back, he looked at the little Hanabi who was sitting on the ground crying, and didn't know what was going on. What happened? Who of you bullied Hanabi? Hyuga Chen asked. No one bullied her, but Izumi struggled for a while, but she didn't say anything. Hyuga Chen also believes that the girls did not bully Hanabi. After all, they are not the kind of people who would bully little girls, unlike Hyuga Chen. Little Hanabi, tell me, why are you crying? If someone bullies you, I will avenge you. Hyuga Chen pinched Hanabi's baby fat face. Hanabi wiped away her tears, stopped shedding tears, buried her little head in Hyuga Chen's arms, and said nothing. Seeing that Hanabi didn't want to say anything, Hyuga Chen didn't ask any further, and handed a piece of paper to Hinata. You can just sign on it. Oh, Ino and Sakura nodded excitedly. Hinata was not too excited. After going out of the village this time, Hinata has completely transformed. In a hidden place in the Land of Winds, Orochimaru took Kimimaro and looked at the 4 generations of Kazekage standing opposite, with a strange smile on his face. Orochimaru, what can I trust you with? 4th Kazekage looked at Orochimaru quietly, frowning tightly. I don't need you to believe me, we just use each other's relationship. Maybe I will stab you in the back, or maybe I will be stabbed by you. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth. 4 generations of Kazekage fell into contemplation, and Orochimaru invited him, told him about the Konoha collapse plan, and invited him to deal with Konoha together. Orochimaru, what is your purpose in destroying Konoha? Kazekage of the 4th generation asked. No doubt he was really moved, but he was wary of Orochimaru. Orochimaru is a viper, and cooperating with a viper is more dangerous than cooperating with a wolf and a leopard. Purpose, why does it have to be purpose? Orochimaru asked rhetorically. Orochimaru's words, Kazekage Rasa, the 4th generation, scoffed. He is a more realistic person and saves others by himself. Rasa does not believe that Orochimaru will be free to help them in Sunagakure village. Your current situation is very bad, don't you want to change it? Do you let Sunagakure village go down step by step, and then fall out of the 5 great ninja village? Orochimaru's words were like the voice of a demon, entering Rasa's mind and lingering for a long time. After the end of the Third World War, their Sunagakure village has been in a very embarrassing situation. The daimyo of the Land of Winds has been completely dissatisfied with their Sunagakure village, and the funding is poor. Even sending the task to Konoha, which is completely enemy-funding behavior, completely angered Rasa. But in the face of the daimyo, he can't do anything about it. There is an opportunity before him now, and if Orochimaru's Konoha collapse plan is successful, then Konoha's rich resources will not be his. Thinking of the pride, Rasa had a smile on his face, not seeing Orochimaru's sarcasm at all. In Orochimaru's eyes, this guy is just a pawn, and the poor guy is still proud. I really don't know how this kind of thing can become Kazekage. And Rasa's strength, Orochimaru, who often fought with Rasa in the 3 battles, is very clear that Rasa's strength is not very strong. If there is a weakest shadow in the 5 great ninja villages, there is no doubt that Orochimaru will definitely choose Rasa. I don't know if Kazekage agrees or not. If I don't agree, I will go to someone else. There are many people who are jealous of Konoha, such as Onoki, and the fourth generation of Reikage. Orochimaru's face was deliberately impatient. Rasa panicked when she heard that. Such a good opportunity can't be given to others. I agree, but I hope you don't deceive me or I'll make you die miserably, Rasa warned Orochimaru. Don't worry, I don't usually take action against my allies, Orochimaru said with a sly smile. I hope so. Rasa felt uncomfortable watching Orochimaru's weird smile. Fourth Kage, go back and prepare. You will need the cooperation of Sunagakure village at that time. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth and left with Kimimaro. Rasa's face was cloudy and uncertain. He didn't understand Orochimaru's purpose. The whole situation was controlled by Orochimaru. As a shadow of a village, he was really unwilling. Measure him. Orochimaru doesn't dare to play tricks. Rasa returned to Sunagakure village. But in fact dare to attack Konoha. Orochimaru really dare not play tricks. This is really hard to say. However, there is a lack of funds in Sunagakure village. At this time, we must find a way to change it. Otherwise, just like what Orochimaru said, maybe there will be 4 major ninja villages in the future, and there will be no Sunagakure village. So Rasa is going to tear up the alliance contract and attack Konoha, who made Konoha so rich. Rasa is jealous. As for the alliance relationship, it was just a piece of waste paper. It was not the first time that Sunagakure village had torn up the alliance contract. There was no psychological burden at all, and he was even used to it. Lord Orochimaru, why did you let Rasa go? Aren't you ready to get rid of him? Kimimaro asked curiously. Although Kimimaro is not a very curious person, but Orochimaru temporarily changed his plan, it is impossible for Kimimaro not to be curious. And Kimimaro wanted to take the opportunity to show Orochimaru-sama his strength. Kimimaro, it's naturally useful for me to keep him, so you don't need to ask more about it. Orochimaru said lightly. Yes, Lord Orochimaru. Kimimaro nodded respectfully. Orochimaru has a place to be ashamed, that is, his subordinates are very loyal, and even die for Orochimaru. Can only be said that Orochimaru's brainwashing skills are really powerful. If he builds a pyramid scheme, he may be able to subvert the entire ninja world. In Konoha, Hyuga-chan was shopping with the girls sadly, and Izumi pulled him out. The reason was that you didn't go shopping with us, so I told Makoto's sister that you insulted me. The reason was very strong, so Hyuga-chan followed them out. Konoha is really prosperous, much stronger than Kurigakure village, which is really poor in comparison. Uzumaki Karen said excitedly. Kurigakure village is poor. Although Kurigakure village is indeed not rich, but if you visit Sunagakure village, you will know what poverty is. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Several kunai flew towards Hyuga-chen, but before they could touch Hyuga-chen, they were blocked by the chakra chain. At the same time, chakra chains tied the attacker. How dare you attack Brother Chen, you are so bold. Karen shouted angrily. Kankuro, are you alright? Tamari hurriedly shouted, taking off the fan behind him and looking at Karen warily. Fights are not allowed within Konoha. In Konoha village, you'd better be honest. An Anbu ninja appeared and said in a cold voice. Go away, what are you? A chakra chain pulled the Anbu ninja out, and the Anbu ninja passed out instantly. Chapter 370 Kankuro dies. Ruthless Rasa. Hurry up and let Kankuro go, or don't blame me for being rude to you. Tamari clenched his fists, his fan in his hand, ready to attack at any time. Anbu ninja who came out to warn, he was stunned, appeared in a daze, and exited miserably. This is Anbu's ninja. Are you from Kurigakure village? Hurry up and release Kankuro. At this time, Maji came out as a class teacher. At the same time, he frowned. He knew about the plan of the fourth generation of Kage, but he didn't expect people from Kurigakure village to appear here, and it seemed that he was also here to take the Chunin exam. Brother Chen, what do you say? You dare to attack you, do you want to kill him? Karen said with a fierce look. To dare to attack her favorite brother Chen, Karen almost killed him. But thinking that brother Chen is still here, he is ready to hand over this ugly-looking guy in black to brother Chen. Xing Shuchen is happy and will reward her. Karen's mind began to wander, and he began to wander. This guy is so ugly, let's kill it. Keeping it is also polluting the eyes. Hyuga-chan said. In fact, it's not that Kankuro is ugly, it's just that the paint on his face is ugly, so he looks ugly. After Hyuga-chan finished speaking, Karen came back to his senses, and the chakra chains turned into sharp blades, instantly strangling Kankuro. Tamari was stunned, Maki was stunned, and even the little panda standing not far away was stunned. Kankuro. Tamari sat on the ground all of a sudden, although her relationship with Kankuro, the younger brother, was not very good, but it was not without emotion. Kankuro is her own younger brother, and Tamari's mood is indescribable just watching her tragically die. Go to hell. With monstrous anger in Maki's heart, Kankuro is not only his disciple, but also the son of 4 generations of Kazekage. Now that Kazecage's son is dead, how can he explain? Perhaps the only way to arrest the murderer, perhaps because of his past achievements, the 4th generation of Kazekage can spare his life. However, given his strength, he wanted to catch Karen, but it could only be said that he thought too much, and he couldn't even catch Karen's move. Karen has cage-level strength, and is a member of the Uzumaki family. His chakra is huge and he knows a lot of powerful ninjutsu. Maki is also only an elite jonin, and his strength is not comparable to Kakashi. So he rushed up quickly, and Maki went back quickly, leaving a scar on his body with deep visible bone, and then Maki fainted. Gaara stared blankly at Kankuro's corpse, a look of complexity appeared in his eyes, and then disappeared in a flash. At this time, Gaara is not the Gaara who was brainwashed by Uzumaki Naruto. Gaara actually doesn't have much affection for his older brother and sister. So Kankuro's death caused Gaara's eyes to waver. Let's go. Hyuga-chen and the girls left, and the people around them stayed far away. When people died on the street, the villagers in Konoha were very scared. Soon Konoha's guards came to disperse all the villagers, and then reported to the 3 generations of Hokage. The current garrison was newly established by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and the Uchiha family perished, but the garrison cannot disappear. So Sarutobi Hiruzen called out a group of ninjas and formed a new Konoha garrison. In Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen covered his head with a headache. He was tired from preparing for the Chunin exam, and now this happened again. One goes wrong, Konoha may go to war with Sunagakure village, but the one who killed is the ninja from Kurigakure village, who is also related to Hyuga-chen. What can you do with Sarutobi Hiruzen? Alas! Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed helplessly, and this sigh also expressed the melancholy in his heart. Sarutobi Hiruzen feels that Hyuga-chen is the nemesis of Konoha. Every time there is Hyuga-chen, there will be no good things. This time, it is related to Hyuga-chen, and I will sell it in my heart. The 4th generation of Kazekage Rasa, who was far away in Sunagakure village, also got the news quickly, but there was no sadness on his face when he got the news. As a ruthless man, Rasa didn't care if his son died. Even Rasa felt that this was a good opportunity to blackmail Konoha. Even when his son is dead, he is still acting like this, and Rasa is also ruthless to a level. Taking this opportunity, Rasa proposed to Konoha that he must pay 10 billion taels of compensation, otherwise Sunagakure village will go to war with Konoha. This matter, Konoha is in a loss, and although 10 billion is more, Konoha is not unable to take it out. In the idea of peaceful, Konoha compensates 10 billion taels. Sarutobi Hiruzen breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't expect this matter to be resolved so easily. It seems that Rasa, the 4th generation Kazekage, still has the overall situation in mind. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought that Rasa was taking care of the overall situation, but he didn't expect that Rasa was a ruthless guy who wasn't human. Because of Konoha's happy compensation, Rasa's heart started to think again. This Konoha is really rich, and if he says 10 billion taels, he will take it out. Originally, Rasa was not too concerned about Orochimaru's Konoha collapse plan, but now he is completely concerned. If you can take a bite of meat on Konoha's body, it will be more than 10 billion taels. If you completely subvert Konoha, you can't think about it. When you think about Rasa's mouth, saliva can't stop flowing. However, Rasa's actions are a bit hurtful. His daughter Temari is very dissatisfied, and Maki is also very unhappy. Kankuro is his apprentice, and Maki is not without affection for Kankuro, and now Rasa's actions make him chill. Especially Rasa, Kankuro's father, was indifferent to his son's death. But Maki is just an elite jonin, and even dissatisfaction can't change anything. Temari sat with tears in the corners of her eyes as she sat at the accommodation that Konoha had prepared for Sunagakure village. No, this can't be done like this. Blood debt is paid for by blood. Temari stood up, sorted out his ninja gear, and left with a 3-star fan on his back. She had already inquired. The woman who killed her brother was in the Hyuga tribe, and the man who ordered the killing of her brother was also in the Hyuga home. The furious Temari ignored the difference in strength and headed towards Hyuga's house. It was night time, but because the Chunin exam was about to take place, all the ninjas from all countries gathered in Konoha, so there were people patrolling everywhere in Konoha. Not long after Temari went out, he was found and had no choice but to come back. At the same time, Anbu ninja from Konoha had been monitoring Temari. Other words, it is basically impossible for Temari to go to Hyuga's house without being discovered. I will take revenge sooner or later. Temari roared angrily. Kankuro is her younger brother. Although it is usually not pleasing to the eye, it cannot change the fact that Kankuro is her younger brother. Temari, stay calm. Maki shook his head helplessly when he heard Temari's cry. Unless the 4th generation of Kazekage comes out, this matter can only be counted, but will the 4th generation of Kazekage come out? Maki shook his head sadly, very helpless. Chapter 371 Chunin exam begins. In a blink of an eye, a few days passed, and the Chunin exam was about to begin. This time is the Chunin joint exam. It's time to show your muscles against other countries and to advertise your force. And many nobles, businessmen, and even big names will come to watch, so whether it is a big country or a small country, they will go all out. In particular, the ninjas of small countries are the most excited. If they can defeat the ninjas of large countries, they will also have a lot of face. The first exam was a written exam, and Hyuga-chen became the examiner for this exam, which he requested from the 3 generations of Hokage. 3 generations of Hokage were unwilling. They couldn't refuse Hyuga-chen, so they could only make Hyuga-chen the examiner for this exam. Don't worry, Hinata, this time I'll be the examiner, you can plagiarize. Hyuga-chen patted Hinata and the others on the shoulders and said with a smile. No, I will never lose the written test. Sakura patted her newly developed breasts and said, Shueiba does not need to plagiarize. Sakura studies very well and is a master of learning, but in the Hokage world, it is not the strength of learning that is good, sometimes blood determines everything. Hinata and the others entered the classroom, and a lot of farce broke out during the period, but it had nothing to do with them. The classroom, Hyuga-chen stood in front, felt a hateful look, and couldn't help but look over. It was Temari. If the man hadn't spoken, maybe Kankuro wouldn't have died, Temari thought to himself. Bad, there is no if, Kankuro is dead. Hyuga-chen glanced at it and chose to ignore it. A little girl's hatred, what can she do if she hates it? And there are many people who hate Hyuga-chen. Looking at Sasuke Uchiha in front of him, he hates him for no reason. He doesn't seem to do anything, right? This guy is really sick. I won't say more nonsense. Curl your hair. Don't plagiarize, or I won't be soft-hearted. Hyuga-chen warned. After the volume was sent out, many people looked at the questions and shook their heads. These questions were too difficult to be solved by humans. At this time, many people are starting to figure out how to copy. If they can't do it and don't copy, are they waiting to be eliminated? It would be a shame to be eliminated in the first round. Hyuga-chen ignored those who wanted to plagiarize, took out 3 answers directly, and gave them to Hinata, Sakura, and Ino. The dumbfounded, including the deputy examiner sitting in front of him, was also dumbfounded. It's not fair. Why the examiner gave them the answer, I'm not convinced. A ninja from a Megakure village stood up. I'm not convinced. Are they related? I'm an examiner. I want to pass anyone I want. If I don't want you to pass, you won't be able to pass the test with full marks. You'd better respect me. Hyuga-chen grabbed that Megakure by the neck and threw him out. You're still in your 30s, and you're still coming to the exam. Where do you get your face? You're still a ninja like this, so just go home and farm. Hyuga-chen said with a pouted mouth. He's still a genin in his 30s, what else does this guy test? Hyuga-chen suspects that this guy is tired of living, and then came here to die. Die here, I might still be famous after death. After all, the Chunin exam is watched by people from all over the ninja world, but it is only limited to the last exam. Because the first and second games are not entertaining, and they will not be open to outsiders to watch. Next, Hyuga-chen was lying on the table, ignoring those people. They copied whatever they liked, and left everything to the deputy examiner. 2 deputy examiners were angry, but this person was arranged by the 3rd generation of Hokage, and they did not dare to get angry. The first exam was over soon, but maybe because of the influence of Hyuga-chen as the examiner, not a few people were beaten this time. Main thing is that the examiner, Hyuga-chen, is irresponsible and is just here to play. But this is not a good thing for some of them. The second test is not the first written test, but the second test will kill people. Rather than entering the second test, these people might as well pass the first test, otherwise they may lose their lives. If you lose your life because of an exam, it's not worth it. After the exam is over, you guys have passed. After Hyuga-chen finished speaking, he stood up and stretched out. The people who passed the exam in the classroom were stunned. They just passed the exam, haven't they read the paper yet? However, Hyuga-chen didn't have the heart to explain it to them. Instead, the 2 deputy examiners explained it to them responsibly. The second test, the Death Forest of Konoha, is a very dangerous forest in Konoha, and there are all kinds of beasts in it. And the most important thing is not the beasts, but there are quite a few ninja beasts in it. Unlike ordinary beasts, the ninja beasts are very special and have special abilities. And they all have wisdom. As for the level of wisdom, no one knows this. Just like there are always a few fools among humans, ninja beasts are no exception. The examiner in the second round was no longer Hyuga-chen, and the examiner in the second round, Hyuga-chen, didn't know him either, so he was a good character. This forest looks so dark. This is the first time I heard about this forest in Konoha. Sakura looked carefully at the Forest of Death, feeling a little scared. This is the 44th training ground. The villagers of Konoha are forbidden to come here. I heard that it is very dangerous inside. Ino whispered. The dark Forest of Death is a little scary, like a giant beast lurking in the dark, wanting to devour everyone who enters. Even Hinata couldn't help but feel a tinge of fear. This has nothing to do with strength. Girls do not like such dark places by nature. Don't worry, it's just a small forest, I'll go in with you. Hyuga-chen said. He went in mainly to see Orochimaru's performance. Hyuga-chen saw Orochimaru just now. I have to say that Uncle Snake is indeed pervert. Now maybe he shouldn't be called Orochimaru anymore, he should be called Orochimaru Haim. Orochimaru has been reincarnated into a woman's body, but Orochimaru's pervert actually uses a woman's body. Perhaps Orochimaru's realm has risen to the point where there is no gender concept, which Hyuga-chen admires. After signing the life and death certificate, Hinata and the others entered the forest with the scroll of the earth, and Hyuga-chen followed behind. The scroll of the earth, that is to say, as long as we grab the scroll of the sky, we can rush to the destination and complete this exam. This is very simple, but this trial of survival is cruel, half of the people will be eliminated. Sakura said softly. It's not half of the people. Those with strength will try to eliminate more people here. Now you are being watched. Hyuga-chen said behind them. Being stared at, Ino quickly closed his eyes, and then clearly perceived that there were 6 ninjas lurking beside them. Be careful, there are 6 ninjas, 2 teams should be united, they should be people from a village. Ino reminded. Sakura immediately pulled out the kunai and became vigilant. Hinata was about to shoot at this time, but was stopped by Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen gently shook his head at Hinata, and it was time for Ino and Sakura to really hone. Chapter 372 Orochimaru Strikes. Come out. We've already found you, it's useless to hide. Ino shouted. I found it, so what if I found it? It happened that this examiner who made me uncomfortable was also there, and we learned a lesson together. The 6 Omegakure came out with sneer on their faces. A ninja from Omegakure village. Sakura and Ino looked at each other. Sweetened water style, wild water wave. One of the Omegakures didn't say anything, and used the sweetened water style attack as soon as he came up, but this ninjutsu is a bit weak. Sakura and Ino, who have seen the big scene, want to laugh when they see this weak ninjutsu. This sweetened water style may not even be able to knock down a small tree. Snite. Sakura and Ino use the ninjutsu to easily avoid the slow ninjutsu. Drink tilde ninja, the art of turning the heart. Ino used the family's secret technique to control one of the enemies, and Sakura flew out with the shuriken in his hand, easily slitting the opponent's neck. Ino controlled. Sakura took the opportunity to attack, and the 2 women cooperated to kill a genin in an instant. In fact, with the strength of Sakura and Ino elite chunin, dealing with them are all genin ninjas, basically crushing. 117. Shave. Sakura kicked the ground quickly, then achieved the effect of rapid movement, approaching an Omegakure genin, and then the short blade in his hand pierced Omegakure's heart. Sakura's shaving was taught to her by Hyuga-chen, but Sakura of the Navy 6th form can only use the simplest shave, and it is very reluctant. The use of the Navy's 6th form requires a strong body. The physique of people in the Hokage world is generally not comparable to that of the pervert physique among the pirates. Being able to use the shaved has already demonstrated Sakura's efforts. In the world of pirates, it is not bad to be able to use shaved at the age of 12. With shaved super high-speed bursts, Sakura easily killed the remaining genins. Ino only had time to use a heart-turning technique, and the fight was over. It's too fast, I don't know how to leave 2 for me. Ino pouted, very upset. Sakura, you're robbing people. Human-headed dog Sakura. Ino was full of resentment. Who made you slow? When you encounter an enemy next time, let you attack, I won't snatch it from you. Sakura picked up 2 scrolls. Fortunately, both scrolls were scrolls of the sky. This means that they have collected all the scrolls, so there is no need to panic, just walk slowly. We only need 1 scroll of the sky, let's destroy the scroll of the sky. Ino destroyed the other scroll. Walking in the forest of death, at this time, Hinata and the others were very calm. With Hyuga-chen by their side, they had no fear in their hearts, just like an outing. But other places are not so peaceful. In the forest of death, it is not only necessary to guard against other squads, but also guard against the beasts of the forest, especially those poisonous insects, which are the most annoying. And there are many poisonous insects in the Death Forest, not to mention a cage-level powerhouse mixed in the Death Forest. Orochimaru removed the disguise, and then channeled countless snakes to find the whereabouts of Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke is Orochimaru's ultimate goal of coming to Konoha. He wants to get Uchiha Sasuke's Sharingan, and then find a way to get Uchiha Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan. Orochimaru's ultimate goal is Rinnegan. Sasuke-kun, I hope you don't let me down. Orochimaru stuck out his long tongue and licked the corner of his mouth, making a snake-like hissing sound. Teams that unfortunately encountered Orochimaru were all solved by Orochimaru, and then fed the snakes. When encountering Orochimaru, it can only be said that they are unfortunate. The forest of death is so big, but when encountering Orochimaru, it can only be said that they are destined to die. I found it. Suddenly, Orochimaru came to the spirit, and the snake he released had already found Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, I am here, I don't know if you are ready. Orochimaru smiled strangely, and then the figure was like a ghost, shuttling in the forest of death. Uchiha Sasuke was a little far from Orochimaru's location, but with Orochimaru's speed, he arrived quickly. When he arrived, he happened to see Uchiha Sasuke fighting fiercely with a team, and the team fighting with them was also very powerful, but compared to Uchiha Sasuke and the others, there was still some gap. Naruto is a little strong who can explode seeds at critical moments. And Naruto is the child of destiny, this dragon team is naturally not their opponent. After defeating them, Naruto chose to let them go. Inuzuka Kiba didn't say it, but Uchiha Sasuke was upset and snorted coldly. Just like you are also worthy of being a ninja. Uchiha Sasuke said disdainfully. What the hell, Sasuke, what are you talking about, you cold-faced man, violence can't solve the problem. Uzumaki Naruto roared angrily. You two, stop arguing, it's important to finish the task first. Inuzuka Kiba said helplessly. These two ten quarreling teammates, Inuzuka Kiba felt that he had lost his 8th life. Shut up for me, Sasuke and Naruto roared very tacitly. Sure enough, Zuoming is the king, and this tacit understanding is not just talk. Inuzuka Kiba's face turned black, and he was not good-tempered. If it wasn't important to complete the task, he would have let Akamaru bite them. Interesting, really funny. Orochimaru came out of the shadows. Who are you? Inuzuka Kiba looked at Orochimaru warily, while comforting Akamaru, whose hair was standing on end. Does it matter who I am? Orochimaru released the monstrous killing intent. The surrounding area was dyed Yuhi by Orochimaru's killing intent, and the huge murderous intent was oppressing the 3rd and 1st dog of the 7th class. In the end, the dog couldn't hold on anymore. Akamaru rolled his eyes, and then fainted. Akamaru, how are you? Inuzuka Kiba hugged Akamaru anxiously, even dispelling a lot of fear in his heart. Compared with murderous deterrence, he is more afraid of Chimaru accident, and he grew up with Chimaru. Chimaru is more important than his own life in Inuzuka Kiba's heart. Who are you, bastard? Cold sweat broke out on Uzumaki Naruto's forehead. This person was even more terrifying than the Zabuzuki he met. Damn, I can't stand up at all. Sasuke Uchiha was so embarrassed that he couldn't even stand up under Orochimaru's murderous aura. Sasuke-kun, you really let me down, you can't get revenge on Uchiha Itachi like this. Orochimaru shook his head and said. After seeing Sasuke, Orochimaru was really disappointed, nothing compared to his brother. What? That man, I'm going to kill that man. Sasuke's Sharingan turned on, both eyes were Tomo Sharingan. What charming eyes, that kind of powerful strength makes people yearn. I really envy those of you who are born with Kekkei Genkai. Orochimaru's eyes were filled with obsession and envy. Orochimaru doesn't have any Kekkei Genkai, he can get to now by himself. Looking at Uchiha Sasuke's Sharingan, Orochimaru feels that fate is really unfair sometimes. Chapter 373 The Abduction of Orochimaru. Uchiha Sasuke, follow me. I can give you the power of revenge. Do you expect to get the power in Konoha that will enable you to avenge? Orochimaru began to kidnap Uchiha Sasuke. What did you disgusting guy say? Uzumaki Naruto next to him became angry when he saw Orochimaru kidnapping his good friend. Kyubi, Nine Tails, Jinchuriki, column power. It's a little pitiful to be weak. Orochimaru sneered disdainfully. If he couldn't stand Orochimaru's mockery, Uzumaki Naruto rushed up angrily, ignoring Orochimaru's majestic murderous aura. Orochimaru grabbed Uzumaki's fist at will, then threw him out, kicking Inuzuka Kiba next to him. Although Orochimaru is not particularly good at taijutsu, he is a master at cage level and kicking Inuzuka Kiba is simply an easy thing to do. Sasuke, look at these two trash, can you become stronger with them? Come on, cut all the ties and abandon everything to become stronger. Orochimaru took out a kunai and threw it over. Sasuke Uchiha looked at kunai under his feet, and then at Naruto Uzumaki who fell heavily on the ground, his face tangled. Kill them both and you will be stronger, only then can you take revenge. Orochimaru's words were like a magic voice. It is said that Orochimaru might be very competent if he were a seductive and depraved demon. Think about Uchiha Itachi's strength, and then look at yourself. Why is Uchiha Itachi so strong? Because he killed his companion Uchiha Shisui with his own hands. Only by killing your companion will you have stronger power. Orochimaru tried his best to seduce Sasuke Uchiha. Why should I believe you? Uchiha Sasuke looked a little blank. Is it really because he killed his companions that his strength is so powerful? Clan also said that it was the man who killed brother Shisui. Maybe what this disgusting guy said was true. Just because I can make you stronger, don't know if this is enough. Orochimaru secretly rejoiced. Seems that Uchiha Sasuke was persuaded by him. You say you can make me stronger, will I believe you? I'm not a fool. Uchiha Sasuke clenched his fists. Since the extermination of Uchiha Itachi, he doesn't trust anyone, he only trusts himself. This guy who is as gloomy as a snake has absolutely no good intentions. Uchiha Sasuke doesn't believe that someone will help him for no reason. You can come to me and try it out, and you won't lose anything. If you're not satisfied, you can leave at any time. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth. Why are you helping me? It's the first time I've met you, right? Uchiha Sasuke asked. Orochimaru was surprised. He wasn't stupid when he saw this guy, and he wasn't swept away by hatred. I have a big feud with Uchiha Itachi. It's fun to train you and let your brothers kill each other. Orochimaru smiled evilly. Uchiha Sasuke begins to consider the authenticity of Orochimaru's words. You have a grudge against Uchiha Itachi. Why don't you deal with him yourself? I think you are incapable. You can't even kill Uchiha Itachi yourself, so you can let me kill Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Sasuke pouted and said disdainfully. Orochimaru smiled. If it wasn't for Pain and the others who came last time, Uchiha Itachi would be dead now. Sasuke, don't believe him, he's not a good guy. Uzumaki raised his head and shouted loudly. Shut up. Uchiha Sasuke gave Uzumaki Naruto a cold look, then silently picked up kunai on the ground. Very well, that's it, kill this unsightly guy. Orochimaru's eyes showed anticipation. It's you who should be killed. Do you think I, Uchiha Sasuke, are so easy to deceive? Will you believe in you who appeared out of nowhere? Uchiha Sasuke's legs are shining with thunder, and he uses Raiden Thunder style to stimulate the cells in his legs, which can make people burst into a terrifying speed in an instant. Blink of an eye, Uchiha Sasuke's kunai pierced Orochimaru's heart. Orochimaru stood there blankly, his eyes dimmed, and then fell to the ground. HMPH. Such a weak guy dares to say such big words. Uchiha Sasuke looked disdainful. I am going to play harder. Orochimaru's tongue slid on Uchiha Sasuke's neck. Hyuga-chen, who was hidden in the distance, stood up, indicating that his scalp was numb, and poor Sasuke was actually Orochimarudian. Uchiha Sasuke shivered in fright, and the kunai in his hand fell to the ground. Quickly use Raiden Thunder style to stimulate the leg cells and quickly leave the place. You're not dead. Sasuke Uchiha looked at the corpse that had turned into a pile of dirt on the ground, sinking into ultimate anger. He, a dignified man of noble Uchiha blood, has been tricked by this disgusting guy. Kid, you're still a long way from killing me. Orochimaru stood far away, but his neck was stretched out very long. How can there be such a long neck? What's going on? Sakura asked in a low voice, startled to see Orochimaru's neck stretched so long. Hyuga-chen's mouth twitched, this should be the normal operation of Orochimaru. When the body white phosphorus serpent came out, it was even more disgusting. At this point, Orochimaru is no longer human, and in order to pursue immortality, he has completely abandoned the human body. As this Sanin Orochimaru, it's so disgusting, I almost vomited. Looking at Orochimaru in the distance, Ino couldn't tell the pain. These two people can't bear it. When Orochimaru uses ninjutsu, you will know the real disgust. The ninjutsu used by Orochimaru is basically related to snakes, and with the deterrent power of snakes to girls, the effect of ninjutsu is doubled. Few girls are not afraid of snakes. Come on Sasuke, let me see the limit of your ability. Two big snakes suddenly appeared and bit Uchiha Sasuke. Facing the large snake more than 10 meters long, even Uchiha Sasuke could not help but feel fear. Sasuke, let me help you. Seeing that his good friend was in danger, Uzumaki Naruto, who had been lying on the ground, suddenly got up. Perhaps because of Uzumaki Naruto's mood swings, the evil chakra overflowed from his body, and a tail appeared behind him, wrapped in a chakra coat. As this is Kyuubi 9 Tails, a tailed beast. Orochimaru was interested, just to get some Kyuubi 9 Tails chakra to study it. Naruto in the form of a tailed beast, even if he has only one tail, his strength has increased a lot. He shattered the ground with 1 foot, and then Naruto punched a large snake at 7 inches, killing the large snake with just 1 punch. In fact, this is also Naruto's accidental hit and miss, hitting the vital position of the snake all at once. Otherwise Naruto, who is a tailed beast, will have to work hard to solve this big snake. As expected of a weapon of war to deter countries, it's really powerful. It's a pity that it was restrained by Sharingan. Orochimaru said with admiration. This kid was also an elite genin before. After the power of the tailed beast broke out, he could easily kill the big snake that could kill the elite Chunin. It can be seen that Orochimaru envied the improvement of his strength. The tailed beast is also a powerful force. Chapter 374 Neji, Little Lee, 1010. The power of the tailed beast is indeed powerful, but it's all external forces. What I want is the power under my own control. Orochimaru shook his head, the envy in his eyes was fleeting. Although the power of the tailed beast is strong, it is not what he wants, and becoming a human Jinchuriki column force may not necessarily tame the tail beast. This kind of uncontrolled power is not as good as the unreliable psychic beast of Wanshi. Uchiha Sasuke looked at the sudden outbreak of Uzumaki Naruto, not a trace of joy, but very embarrassed. The tail of a crane has such a powerful force, he is not reconciled, he is a member of the Uchiha family, how can he not even match the tail of a crane? On the other side, Inuzuka Kiba woke up. It should be said that he was woken up by his dog Akamaru. This guy, Akamaru, we're going to go. Inuzuka Kiba used the four-legged technique and rushed towards Orochimaru in the distance. And Akainu becomes a clone exactly like Inuzuka Kiba, which is a unique clone of the Inuzuka family, an orc clone, which can make the ninja look like itself and unite against the enemy. Kiba pass Kiba. Inuzuka Kiba and Akainu were spinning at high speed, attacking Orochimaru like 2 drills. Inuzuka clan's jutsu. Orochimaru smiled disdainfully, he did not despise the Inuzuka clan's ninjutsu. A large snake suddenly emerged from the ground, and its tail swept towards Inuzuka Kiba and Akamaru. Inuzuka Kiba and Akamaru failed to penetrate the snake, but were kicked out by the snake. The powerful force made Inuzuka Kiba and Akamaru fly upside down for tens of meters. With a bang, Akamaru turned into a dog again, tilted his head and fell to the ground weakly. Inuzuka Kiba stood up and stood in front of Akamaru to prevent Orochimaru from taking the opportunity to attack. But Inuzuka Kiba thinks too much, Orochimaru doesn't even look at him at all. Compared with Uzumaki Naruto, the Kyuubi 9 Tails Jinchuriki column force, and Uchiha Sasuke, who he values most, Inuzuka Kiba is dispensable. Inuzuka Kiba's life and death are not at all in Orochimaru's heart. Neji, do we want to help? They are all my Konoha's companions. Little Lee asked Hyuga Neji not far away. It's none of our business. Even if they were killed, they were only blamed for their lack of strength. This is their fate, Hyuga Neji said coldly. Going on an adventure for 3 strangers, Hyuga Neji wouldn't do it. I'm going to save them, how about you Tenten? Little Lee said firmly. Teacher Guy taught him that he must never give up his companions. Although they are enemies in this exam, they are both Konoha's companions, and there is Uchiha Sasuke in it. Little Lee has always wanted to personally defeat the famous genius Uchiha Sasuke, and he wants to prove that his efforts can surpass genius. Defeating Uchiha Sasuke, Little Lee will challenge Hyuga Neji. Little Lee believes that with hard work, he can defeat those geniuses, and it is his perseverance that gives him his current strength. I'll listen to you, Tenten said after some thought. I'm going. Little Lee glanced at Hyuga Neji, then came out, kicking back a big snake that was winding towards Uchiha Sasuke. It's you. Sasuke Uchiha looked at the green tights, the watermelon head of the logo, and recognized Little Lee. During the first exam, they had a skirmish. Uchiha Sasuke knew that this body art was strong. That's right, I'm going to defeat you myself, so don't have an accident here. Little Lee smiled at Uchiha Sasuke. Little Lee is really impulsive. Tenten was helpless and came out of the dark. Hyuga Neji thought for a while, then jumped out with a displeased expression on her face. Such impulsiveness will kill you sooner or later, Hyuga Neji said coldly. You bastard. Little Lee was very angry. His relationship with Hyuga Neji was probably similar to that of Naruto and Sasuke. There are still enemies, you two don't fight infighting. Tenten reminded, but also felt a headache and helpless. Every time a conflict was caused by her to reconcile, I was tired. If you 3 little brats hide in the dark, I won't do anything to you, but don't blame me when you come out. Orochimaru looked at Byakugan of Hyuga Neji emphatically. If you can get Byakugan, it may be a very good thing. As for the spell of the caged bird, Orochimaru can find a way to unlock it. At this time Orochimaru has one more goal, which is to catch Hyuga Neji. If you can evolve eyes like Hyuga-chen, you will make a lot of money. Even if you can't get it, it doesn't matter, Byakugan is not bad. Moreover, this kid has a good talent and strength, and can be considered as a reincarnation object. That's cousin Neji, Hinata asked softly. They shouldn't be Orochimaru's opponents, right? Ino said. Orochimaru is the legendary ninja, so powerful. Not necessarily. If Uzumaki Naruto burst out with the power of Kyuubi, 9 tails, Orochimaru can be repelled. Hyuga-chen said with a smile. Uzumaki Naruto is the protagonist, who knows if he will burst out. As long as he bursts out with 8 tails, he can chase after Orochimaru. It can't be delayed any longer. Konoha will find out if you delay it any longer. It seems that we need to deal with these little bastards quickly. Orochimaru said secretly in his heart. Once the 3rd generation Hokage brought people over, it would be a little troublesome for him to escape. Although the 3rd generation Hokage was older, his strength was still there. Orochimaru is also not guaranteed to be able to play 3 generations of Hokage. The array of 10,000 serpents. The large number of snakes that Orochimaru channeled shocked Tenten. Because of the fear in his heart, he even forgot to attack. Although Tenten said that he is not afraid of snakes, but seeing the overwhelming number of snakes, Tenten now expresses that he is afraid. Don't say the Tenten are scared, even the other men are scared too. Inuzuka Kiba hugged Akamaru and slowly approached Uzumaki Naruto and the others. The snakes had already surrounded them, and they had no chance to run. Pity I don't have a boyfriend yet. Are you going to feed these ugly snakes now? I'm so unwilling. Tenten sat on the ground. Kaden Fire Style, Great Fireball Jutsu. Uchiha Sasuke's Kaden Fire Style cleared a place, but it was still a drop in the bucket compared to the snakes. This group of nasty stinky snakes, damn it. Uchiha Sasuke said angrily. Just at 0.4, Orochimaru's neck suddenly stretched out, wrapped around Uchiha Sasuke, and then bit Uchiha Sasuke's neck. Orochimaru quickly retracted, leaving a curse mark on Uchiha Sasuke's neck. Ah! Uchiha Sasuke screamed, then fell to his knees on the ground. Sasuke-kun, this is a small gift from me, I hope you like it, you should be able to feel the power. Orochimaru had a smile on his face. Damn! Uchiha Sasuke broke out in cold sweat on his forehead, and finally fainted. I hope you make good use of it. Hee hee. Damn, what did you do to Sasuke? Little Lee asked. Originally, this sentence should have been asked by Uzumaki Naruto, but now Uzumaki Naruto can maintain a sense of reason and not attack them. Chapter 375 3 generations want to abdicate. Cousin Neji is in danger, I'm going to save him, Hinata said firmly. Although Hinata and Neji are not familiar with each other, but they have a cousin relationship, it is impossible for Hinata to die. Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. All the snakes were killed by a Shinra Tensei Almighty Push levy of Hinata, and even Orochimaru was sent flying by Shinra Tensei Almighty Push levy. Orochimaru stared blankly at Hinata's Tenseigan, his eyes showing greed, but the greed was only for a moment, and Orochimaru immediately put it away. Because Orochimaru saw Hyuga-chen and understood that the little girl's eyes were related to Hyuga-chen. Thinking of this, Orochimaru felt envious. Is it the examiner? We are saved. Tenten looked at Hyuga-chen and immediately burst into tears. She was scared to death just now. Orochimaru, long time no see. Hyuga-chen greeted Orochimaru. It's been a long time indeed, but I didn't expect to meet Chen-kun here. It's really my honor. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth with a slight smile on his face. Ten-kun, you shouldn't stop me. Orochimaru looked at Uchiha Sasuke with obvious meaning. He has nothing to do with me, what you want to do is up to you. Hyuga-chen shook his head and said, he didn't care about Orochimaru's plans. Orochimaru does as long as it doesn't affect those around him. That's good. Orochimaru breathed a sigh of relief, as long as Hyuga-chen didn't stop him from hitting Uchiha Sasuke's idea. It is estimated that the people from Konoha are coming, and I have to retreat. Chen-kun, we will see you another day. Orochimaru slowly stepped back, and then disappeared into the darkness. This examiner, how did you let that bad guy run away? Tenten leaned over and asked. Hyuga-chen didn't reply, instead he touched Tenten's head, you have a very unique meatball head. Tenten's face turned to Yuhi, looking at the handsome Hyuga-chen, not knowing where to put his hands. Brother Chen, Sakura and Ino shouted resentfully. Don't touch other girls casually, girls are very concerned about this. Ino took Hyuga-chan's hand away. Tenten is speechless, and I didn't say I care. What are you fooling around for? Tenten opened his mouth and finally kept his mouth shut. Hurry up and leave, otherwise, be careful, I will grab your scrolls and make you eliminated. Sakura started to chase people, the most important thing was to chase the girl Tenten. Cousin Neji. Hinata looked at Hyuga Neji. Humph. Hyuga Neji snorted coldly, then turned his head and walked away. Instead of being grateful for being saved by Hinata, he hated it even more. Do I need your help from main clan? Even if I die, Hyuga Neji, I will never be saved by your main clan people. As for this time, it was just an accident. Next time Hyuga Neji promises that he will never be rescued by main clan's people, or he will be killed by a head-on crash. Watching Hyuga Neji leave, Tenten and Little Lee immediately followed him for fear that he would have an accident by himself. Before leaving, Tenten gave Sakura and Ino a dissatisfied look, but Sakura and Ino were very proud. After the guys from the Guy class left, Hyuga-chen also took Hinata and the others away, leaving Inuzuka Kiba, Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto. But Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto passed out, and poor Inuzuka Kiba had to take care of them. Uchiha Sasuke fainted because of the curse mark, and Uzumaki Naruto fainted after he exited his tailed beast form. No, I can't stay here, There was too much movement just now. I'm afraid it will attract others to look at it. Inuzuka Kiba thought to himself. It can be seen that Inuzuka Kiba is not stupid, but he is a little impulsive. Inuzuka Kiba carried Uzumaki Naruto on his back, and then let Akamaru carry Uchiha Sasuke to find a hidden place to hide. Are dangers everywhere in the forest of death, and Inuzuka Kiba dare not run around with two fainted guys. Now that they have got 2 scrolls, as long as they reach their destination, don't worry at all, just wait for Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke to wake up. Not long after Inuzuka Kiba left, a team of Anbu ninjas came here, and after investigating, went back to report Sarutobi Hiruzen. 3 generations of Lord Hokage, many snake scales were found in the Forest of Death, plus the previous investigation. It can be determined that missing Nin Orochimaru infiltrated Konoha. The purpose is unknown. Anbu ninjas said respectfully. I see, you go down first. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and said. After Anbu ninja left, Sarutobi Hiruzen pinched his head and felt a headache. Chunin joint exam. Orochimaru ran out to join in the fun again, alas. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. Sarutobi Hiruzen has felt powerless in recent years, and it seems that he is looking for a successor. Pity that Konoha has not taken over, his most optimistic Kakashi has not improved, and Sarutobi Hiruzen can't find anyone to take over. Alas, is Konoha so depressed that it is difficult to find a successor? Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed again. Kakashi may have the ability to manage Konoha, but he doesn't think Hokage is the strength. If you want to become Hokage, you must have the strength to subdue the ninjas of Konoha. Otherwise, who will be convinced by the following ninjas? Past, when Konoha chose Hokage, it was the most suitable one from a bunch of people. Now, there is no one who can be Hokage. Looks like Jiraiya is coming back. Sarutobi Hiruzen said secretly. This time, Jiraiya doesn't want to be Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen also wants to force him to be Hokage. Jiraiya is also the most suitable candidate now. As for Danzo, who always dreamed of being Hokage, 480 Sarutobi Hiruzen never thought about him. In Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes, Danzo is really not suitable to be Hokage. He is too dark and his actions are too extreme. Orochimaru, I hope you don't do anything in Konoha, or I'll keep you even if I die, Sarutobi Hiruzen said silently, with determination in his eyes. Having thought about the relationship between mentor and apprentice, Sarutobi Hiruzen chose to let Orochimaru go, but did not get rid of him. Sarutobi Hiruzen now regrets it. Konoha Anbu ninja began to search for suspicious people in Konoha. This Chunin exam is different from the general Chunin exam. Many countries are watching this Chunin exam. In case something happened, it was Konoha who would be embarrassed. But they are doomed to find Orochimaru, because Orochimaru has now left Konoha. He has planted a spell on Uchiha Sasuke. Judging from the information he has collected, it is no surprise that Uchiha Sasuke will come to him because of his desire for strength. At this time, he just needs to wait quietly. Uchiha Sasuke feels the lack of strength. He will send someone to lobby, and it is estimated that Uchiha Sasuke will come to the door himself. Orochimaru knows Uchiha Sasuke very well. For this reason, Orochimaru has collected a lot of information about Uchiha Sasuke, and he has already known about Uchiha Sasuke. Chapter 376 Using Kotoamatsukami. Ha ha ha, give me death. Gaara laughed wildly, and used Sand Waterfall Funeral to strangle several ninjas on the opposite side. Temari looked at the crazy Gaara, frowning involuntarily, silent, and didn't say anything. And because of Kankuro's death, the other Tsunogaker who joined temporarily, was frightened by Gaara's brutal appearance, and hid aside and shivered. Who? Come out to me. Gaara's eyes turned into gorilla Yuhi color, with thick dark circles and a hideous expression. It can scare people to death. I didn't expect to meet a red panda. Hyuga Chen smiled and walked out, followed by the 3 daughters of Hinata. Temari's pupils shrank, and then he picked up the fan in his hand. Go to hell. Futon, wind style, Itachi. Little beauty, are you fanning me? Hyuga-chen stood there without feeling the slightest bit. Damn, can't even take revenge. Tamari knelt on the ground weakly, tears streaming down his face. Ha ha ha, I want to see your blood, sand-bound coffin. Seeing Hyuga-chen and the others, Gaara laughed madly. But Gaara thought too much. The sand couldn't get close to Hyuga-chen at all, but wrapped him uncontrollably. A strong sense of restraint and suffocation. It was the first time for Gaara to experience her own sand-bound coffin, which was very uncomfortable. Attack me when you come up. You Sunagakur village are so brave, it seems that you two don't want to live anymore. Hyuga-chen said indifferently. No, let go of Gaara, Tamari yelled. Although she is usually afraid of Gaara, but now that Kankuro is dead, she is left with Gaara as a relative. As for her father Rasa, Tamari no longer considers him her own. Let him go. Do you think I have a good heart? Hyuga-chen smiled coldly. The sand that bound Gaara was tighter, and the sand had begun to reveal Yuhi's blood. Let Gaara go. As long as you let him go, I can do whatever you want, Tamari shouted, tears welling up in his eyes. As for the new teammates of the two of them, they have already run away. Gaara, the terrifying great devil, is not an opponent. He doesn't run and waits to die. Brother Chen, let them go. Hinata pulled on Hyuga-chen's clothes. She felt that the elder sister was a little pitiful, and Hinata's sympathy was violated. Okay, since you said to let them go, Hinata, let them go. Hyuga-chen nodded. The sand that bound Gaara fell to the ground, and Gaara was half kneeling on the ground, covered in blood. His originally crazy eyes revealed fear. Are you all right? Tamari asked, standing up and walking over, looking at Gaara. Go away. Gaara shook off Tamari's arm to support him, then looked at Hyuga-chen deeply, and left silently. Tamari was very sad and looked at Gaara blankly. Why are you still standing here? Why don't you hurry up and get out? Hyuga-chen said lightly. Although you have spared me and my brother Gaara this time, I will avenge Kankuro, you wait for me. Tamari gave Hyuga-chen a hateful look. Damn, this woman still dares to say harsh words. Is it because she lacks IQ, or she thinks her head is very iron? Hyuga-chen was unhappy. Annoying me, you still want to go. The strong gravitational pull pulls Tamari over. Hyuga-chen stretches out her hand and grabs her neck. Give you a chance to choose, how exactly do you want to die? Hyuga-chen said coldly. Tamari didn't speak, she was almost out of breath now. How could she answer Hyuga-chen's words? Brother Chen. Hinata pulled Hyuga-chen. Look at Hinata's big watery eyes. Okay. Let this woman go again, but you can't let her go so easily, otherwise, wouldn't it be too cheap for her? Although you have hatred for your brother's death, I understand, but your brother is also courting death by himself. He is not strong enough to attack me arrogantly, and he can't blame others when he is dead. So let go of hatred. This will make the world a better place, Hyuga-chen said. Tamari glared at this man angrily. Although this man was handsome, her brother died because of this man. Can she give up her hatred? Totally impossible. I'm stubborn, it seems that I need to teach the world to be kind. Hyuga-chen raised his head and said with emotion. Koto Amatsukami. Hyuga-chen changed Tamari's consciousness. You must be remorseful too. Be a little maid by my side in the future and reform yourself. The burden of serving tea and water is all on you. Hyuga-chen patted Tamari on the shoulder. Thank you master for pointing out the maze. Tamari said with a frenzy, as if a madman saw the real lord. The three girls behind Hinata are inexplicable. They didn't just swore to take revenge. How could they have become so desperate to die for Brother Chen now? This change is too fast, and they are dazzled. Brother Chen, what's going on? Ino asked Hyuga-chen when he didn't understand. This is Tamari's repentance. He knew that it was wrong, so he wanted to repent. Hyuga-chen forcibly held back his smile and spoke nonsense with a serious face. Really, it feels like you are fooling me, Ino said suspiciously. Let's go. Go to the destination. The smell of this dark and damp forest is really unpleasant. Hyuga-chen ignored their entanglement and walked forward on his own. Soon we will arrive at the destination, and the next step is to wait. After all those who have not been eliminated arrive, we will conduct trials. Only by passing the trials can you enter the third exam. Because this is a joint examination of several countries, it is special. In fact, under normal circumstances, it is not so troublesome for Chunin to advance. Soon everyone arrived. Unlike the original book, only 15 people passed the trial of the Forest of Death this time. 2 of the 15 people played against each other, and one of them had a lucky bye, while only 7 of the remaining 14 were able to advance to the third exam. Other words, there are only 8 people participating in the third exam, and the usual Chunin exam cannot be so cruel. 15 people passed the lottery method. Hanada was lucky and got a bye. Although it didn't matter if he didn't get a bye, this proved that Hanada was definitely a European emperor. On the other hand, Sakura and Ino are a bit non-chief. The 2 of them are the same as the original, and they are still drawn together. The 2 women could only express helplessness about this, but the eyes of the 2 women were sparkling, and neither of them was willing to admit defeat. Ino, I'll definitely beat you this time, just wait and see. Sakura snorted. Ha ha ha, you are talking big. Let's see how I beat you to nothing. Ino said unconvinced. Before the battle even started, the 2 of them were already at each other's throats. But this time, Konoha was saving face. 9 of the 15 people were Konoha's ninjas. And Kurigakure village is the most embarrassing. As a Danin village, there is no team that passes through the Forest of Death. But this is because Izumi and Karen didn't bring any powerful ninjas at all. They didn't come to take the Chunin exam, they came to find Hyuga-chen. Chunin exams are just a pretext for them to enter Konoha. Chapter 377 Karen with a hole in his head. The first competition, Uchiha Sasuke's opponent was Tamari's temporary teammate, not the red armor in the original book. Although Uchiha Sasuke was affected by the curse mark, he still easily defeated the opponent, but because of the curse mark, Uchiha Sasuke is not feeling well now. The second game was Haruno Sakura vs. Yamanaka Ino. The 2 of them were still the same as the original, and they were eliminated in a tie. The tryouts will be over soon. Because both Sakura and Ino were eliminated, only 7 people passed successfully, namely, Hanada, Tamari, Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, Gaara, Hyuga Neji, 2s. The official exam didn't start now, and Konoha was kind enough to give them time to prepare. Of course it was a lie to give them time, the main thing was to leave time to entertain the bigwigs watching Chunin's exams. Like this kind of Chunin joint exam, it actually has a great effect. Only by showing strong strength can you attract those rich people to issue tasks. Showing strong strength can not only show off muscles to other countries, but also attract people to release tasks, which can be said to serve multiple purposes. After the audition, Hyuga-chen took Hanada and the others back, but there was a Tamari behind him. Tamari looked at Hyuga-chen, his eyes glowing with longing. Looking at Tamari like this, the ghost knows how Hyuga-chen 823 changed Tamari's will. At the same time, Jiraiya came back and left the village for a long time. Jiraiya inevitably came to Konoha to see the situation of Konoha. Perhaps it was fate. When Jiraiya was peeking at the women's bathhouse, he was seen by Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto Uzumaki, who was full of justice, naturally couldn't bear to see such a wretched guy. After some quarrel, Jiraiya recognized Uzumaki Naruto as his disciple's son, and finally decided to teach Uzumaki Naruto at Uzumaki Naruto's request. At the same time, Kakashi also gave special training to Uchiha Sasuke. Among the 7th class students, Inuzuka Kiba was the most miserable. However, Inuzuka Kiba has the secret techniques of the Inuzuka family, and many things just need to be learned from the family, and it is not too sad. Get up quickly, what's wrong with this woman? Izumi grabbed Hyuga-chen's collar and shook it vigorously. Being so presumptuous in front of the master, you are courting death. Tamari shouted and rushed over with the Samsung fan behind him. Izumi turned his head, 3 Tomo Sharingan flashed. Tamari was controlled by demonic illusion in a flash. What the hell is going on? Izumi asked Hyuga-chan angrily. Izumi, you've changed. I remember you used to be a little fangirl next to me, but now you're so rude to me. Girls can't be like this. You learn ninjutsu from Makoto, but your personality is the same as Kushina, alas. Hyuga-chan helplessly sighed. Don't change the subject. What's wrong with this woman? Why is she here? Izumi stared at Hyuga-chan viciously. If you want to change the subject, there are no doors and no windows for you. Her hatred for me exploded, then I hated her, and Hinata didn't want me to kill her, and then I gave her a Koto Amatsukami, that's all. Hyuga spread her hands. Koto Amatsukami, you changed her will? Izumi asked immediately, and she also understood Koto Amatsukami's abilities. Yes, that's it. Hyuga-chan nodded. Then how did you change? Hurry up and say, I'll bite you if you don't say anything. Izumi snapped Kiba. Hyuga-chan pushed Uchiha Izumi away, then sat up from the sofa and said, it's nothing, I just made me the only god in her world. What? It's so nasty, I will definitely tell Makoto sisters and the others, just wait for me. Izumi patted the table angrily. I didn't use Koto Amatsukami for you, why are you angry? Hyuga-chan said angrily. That's right, why am I angry? Izumi scratched her head, but she was angry anyway, and there was another woman, she was very angry, especially angry. Brother Chen. Karen pulled Hyuga-chan's arm. Hyuga-chan looked at Karen suspiciously, only to see Karen's watery eyes and shyness on his face. He hesitated to speak. Karen, you can just say whatever you want, you don't have to be so restrained. Hyuga-chan said, knowing Karen for so long, Hyuga-chan was the first time she saw Karen so restrained. Izumi looked at Karen curiously, not knowing what Karen was going to do. Brother Tatsu, can you use Koto Amatsukami on me? Karen looked at Hyuga Tatsu with shining eyes. Hyuga-chan spit out a mouthful of water and sprayed Hinata's face. Hinata looked at Hyuga-chan innocently, making Hyuga-chan feel guilty. Karen, do you have a problem with your brain? Izumi reached out and touched Karen's forehead. Could it be that he had a fever and forgot to take the medicine, and then burned his brain? You get up. I'm not sick, I'm fine. Karen opened Izumi's hand, looking unhappy. Izumi shook his head, expressing disbelief. How could you talk nonsense if you were not sick? Usually people who are sick don't say they are sick. Karen, I understand you. You don't want us to worry, right? We will treat you if you are sick. With Tsunade's sister here, you can definitely be cured. Izumi patted Karen on the shoulder and said. I'm not sick at all, I don't want to talk to you. Karen said angrily. Brother Chen, can you? Hyuga-chan blankly flicked this silly boy's forehead, and it is estimated that he is not sick, and the structure of his brain circuit is different from ordinary people. Wherever you think it's cool, just go and stay. Hyuga-chan said. I know, humming. Hyuga-chan's head is full of black lines, don't you know that I killed a monster with one punch? Then Hyuga-chan took a look at Tamari, and untied her demonic illusion. Tamari's demonic illusion was disengaged, and immediately watched Izumi with a fan, ready to attack anytime, anywhere. Little girl, you are not my opponent. Izumi pouted. Hyuga-chan couldn't help knocking Izumi's head. You're just a few years older than her, what are you looking like? I'm stronger than her, can't I just look up? Izumi said aggrievedly, holding her head. It won't hurt you if you don't exert enough force. Hyuga-chan gave her an angry look. Izumi stopped pretending to be pitiful, glared at Hyuga-chan angrily, and said, wait, I will definitely tell Sister Makoto and the others about this. What if you just told me? I'll see how I deal with you then. Hyuga-chan said with a fierce face. Izumi was frightened by Hyuga Tatsuchi, and immediately stopped talking, walked to the side and sat down angrily. It's useless for the master to be Tamari, please punish the master. Tamari walked up to Hyuga-chan and said with guilt. What are you punishing? Call me Lord Chen in the future. Stop calling me master, Hyuga-chan said softly. It's Tatsu-sama. Tamari bowed respectfully to Hyuga Tatsu. Hyuga-chan glanced at Tamari, then nodded slightly. Chapter 378 Chunin Selection Official Tournament. Blink of an eye, the official Chunin selection competition began, and businessmen from various countries, the big names of the fire country, the small countries, and the wind countries came one after another. 3 generations of Hokage sat in the main seat with a gentle smile on his face. Next to the 3rd generation Hokage is the 4th generation Kazekage, and the current 4th generation Kazekage is not Orochimaru pretending to be, but the real 4th generation Kazekage Rasa. I didn't expect the Chunin exam held by Konoha to be really impressive. Rasa's voice was neither yin nor yang, a little sour tilde. Their Sunagakur village can't hold Chunin exams with such a high profile. Where is? Sarutobi Hiruzen had a smile on his face, and he was happy when he saw that Kiba could see his eyes, and Rasa's envious eyes were open to Yuhi. Old guy, let you be complacent first, and I'll see how complacent you are in a while. Rasa said secretly. He wondered if Sarutobi Hiruzen could laugh when he knew that his good disciple had joined with him and planned to subvert Konoha. 4 out of the 6 ninjas belong to you, Konoha. You have so many geniuses in Konoha. Rasa felt sour. That's right, there are indeed 6 people now. The original Toth killed to provoke Gaara, and then was killed by Gaara. This is the case in the original book, and it is still the same now. This guy is also unlucky. You Sunagakur village are also good. 2 of them are from Sunagakur village, and they are very strong. I'm not as good as Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen complimented with a smile. Flower sedan chair was carried by everyone, but Rasa heard Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, that is, he looked down on him. Did he deliberately point out that there are only 2 people in our Sunagakur village, so as to show himself? Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't actually look down on him, but Rasa didn't think so. He thought that Sarutobi Hiruzen was looking down on him. Rasa had hatred in his heart, and he must make the 3 generations of Hokage look good in a while. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't know, just because of his compliment, Rasa had an inexplicable hatred. 3 generations of Hokage-sama, do you want to start? The daimyo can't wait. Anbu Ninja came over and asked in a low voice. Okay, let's get started, said the 3rd Hokage with a smile. The official competition of the Chunin exam started, also in the form of a lottery, and the results of the lottery came out soon. Hyuga Hinata vs Tamari, Uzumaki Naruto vs Hyuga Neji, Gaara vs Uchiha Sasuke. Among them, Hinata and Tamari appeared first, but just after entering the battlefield, Tamari directly conceded defeat. The people who were sitting in the stands, ready to watch the battle, were disappointed for a while, and they conceded defeat at the beginning. What's the point of watching this? Many spectators were dissatisfied and shouted for refunds. It's not for nothing to watch here, but they have to buy a ticket to enter, but they can't see the exciting fight after paying the money. They are very disappointed. Sarutobi Hiruzen also felt embarrassed listening to the scolding, and glared at Rasa secretly. This Rasa deliberately telling Tamari to admit defeat and looking for trouble. All right. In fact, this time it was Sarutobi Hiruzen who wronged Rasa. He just came to Konoha today and has never seen Tamari's face. What's more, now that Tamari and Hyuga-chen are together, Rasa can't see Tamari's face. Oops, it seems a little embarrassing, Rasa said gloatingly. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Rasa with a frown. From the moment they met, Rasa spoke strangely, like asking for trouble. Why are the 3 generations of Hokage watching me? Now I'm watching the exam in the field, Rasa reminded. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, then turned around. At this time, Uzumaki Naruto and Hyuga Neji played, and Sarutobi Hiruzen just hoped that the first scene would not appear. But Sarutobi Hiruzen, Neji's worries are superfluous. Uzumaki Naruto is not a person who gives up easily, and Hyuga Neji is even more so. Hyuga Neji of Uzumaki Naruto's reputation on the back of the crane has also heard of it. How could he admit defeat in such a situation? A crane tail fights against him, and his fate of failure is doomed. Lord Hyuga-chan, can you help little Lee? He is really working hard. If he knows he can only lie in bed, I don't know how sad he will be. I beg you. Above the stand, Might Guy bowed deeply to Hyuga-chen, with tears of thick noodles on his face. With Tsunade's character, he would never come to Konoha to help you treat little Lee. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Boy-chen, please help. I've seen that little Lee. Even though he was seriously injured, he still kept on training. He was a persevering ninja. Jiraiya said beside him. Hyuga-chen glanced at Jiraiya. To be honest, seeing Jiraiya still here, Hyuga-chen was a little surprised. As long as Lord Hyuga-chen helps, my life is yours, please help little Lee. Might Guy said, kneeling on the ground. Okay, hold this thing, you can cure little Lee with it. Hyuga-chen condensed a ball of green and vibrant chakra balls in his hands, and then threw the chakra ball to Guy. Guy didn't care so much, and immediately left here to go to the hospital, before Hyuga Neji's battle was too late to watch. Speaking of Chen boy, are you lying to him? Little Lee is seriously injured, can the chakra be cured? Jiraiya asked suspiciously. Now he seriously suspects that Guy was cheated by Hyuga-chen. Is it good for me to deceive him? Hyuga-chen asked indifferently. From what I understand, you're not someone who likes to help others, Jiraiya said. I just felt that little Lee was good, so I helped him. What are you doing here with an old man? Get out of here. Hyuga-chen took a foot on Jiraiya, and then Jiraiya turned into a parabola and flew into the distance. To the ground, Jiraiya was not injured, but looked very embarrassed and a little embarrassed. This kid is still the same as when he was a kid, he's not cute at all. Jiraiya shook his head depressedly, then got up. Lying on the ground damages his image as a toad fairy. Battle between Hyuga Neji and Uzumaki Naruto has already begun. Hyuga Neji's gentle fist showed no mercy at all, and all hit Uzumaki Naruto. This is Uzumaki Naruto's skin. If it were someone else, he would have been beaten down long ago. Brother Chen, who do you think will win? Tenten asked beside him. Why do you need to ask? It's not clear now, of course it's your teammate. I said so many positions, why do you come here? Ino said unhappily, and the word, unhappy, was almost written on his face. It's none of your business where I sit. Is this your home? Tenten was equally dissatisfied. Since she came here, this woman has been targeting her. Oh yes, and the pink-haired woman named Sakura is also targeting her, which is really annoying. Tenten's angry mouth bulged, and with her bun head, it looked very cute. Hyuga-chen couldn't help pinching Tenten's bun head. Brother Chen, do you like this hairstyle very much? Uzumaki Karen asked. At the same time she also made a bun head for herself, and she moved really quickly. Karen, your bun head is really ugly. Hyuga-chen said with a twitch. Karen really doesn't suit bun head. Chapter 379 Uchiha Sasuke vs. Gaara. Karen pouted sullenly. Stop pouting, it doesn't look good. Hyuga-chen touched Karen's head to comfort her. Under Hyuga-chen's casual comfort, Karen was instantly revived with blood, and Izumi next to him looked speechless. What a silly child, a smile and a touch of the dog's head calmed you down. If it was me, at least 2 would do. Give it up. You can't win against me. Hyuga Neji looked at Uzumaki Naruto who was still struggling with scars all over his body, and couldn't help showing a puzzled look. I hate your look the most. Fate is impossible to change, let me fall down obediently. Hyuga Neji's face was full of anger. This kind of light of hope in his eyes is what he hates the most. You haven't resisted fate, how do you know that fate can't resist? Uzumaki Naruto burst into a small universe and used the power of Kyubi, 9 tails, again. Hyuga Neji's biggest mistake is that he shouldn't stop talking so much with Uzumaki Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto is the protagonist. If you don't take the opportunity to make up for the knife, what nonsense you say, it should be overturned. Hyuga-chen, the protagonist, understands this creature very well, and Li Feng will reason with you and talk about it. If it's downwind, first beat your mother who doesn't even know you, and then use his mouth cannon skills to influence you. Hyuga Neji looked at Uzumaki Naruto who broke through the blockade of the acupoints, and said he was stunned. This is not scientific at all. Isn't your chakra blocked already? Are you out of strength? How is it still alive? Then Hyuga Neji didn't know that Uzumaki Naruto had a golden finger called Kyubi, 9 tails, and first came a punch to make Hyuga Neji sober. Then after the outbreak, Uzumaki Naruto just turned over Hyuga Neji, and then used the art of mouth cannon to educate Hyuga Neji, saying that Hyuga Neji almost cried on the spot. At this time, Hyuga Hiyashi stood up and came to buy people's hearts, and the paranoid Hyuga Neji was included. Hyuga Hiyashi's timing is good. Hyuga Chen exclaimed. Brother Chen, I'm here. When Hanabi took advantage of Hyuga Hiyashi to collect Hyuga Neji's thorn, she sneaked over. What are you doing here? Go away quickly. I don't like seeing you. Hyuga-chan said disgustingly. What did you say? Wow, so angry. Hanabi jumped up and grabbed Hyuga-chan's hair, pulling hard. You actually dislike me, damn it. Hanabi puffed up her face, muttering and trying hard. What are you doing, Lord Chen? Let me clean up this little brat who is disrespectful to you. Tamari stood behind with anger on his face. Hyuga Chen glanced at Tamari speechlessly. Do you want to change Tamari's fool with Koto Amatsukami? Think about it or forget it. Don't worry about it, I'll take care of this kid myself. Hyuga Chen showed a grim smile on his face. Then he grabbed Hanabi and asked, Hanabi, what do you think I'm going to do with you? Sister, come and save me. Hanabi looked at Hinata with pitiful eyes. Hinata smiled helplessly and gave Hanabi a helpless look. Your father is here today, but he can't save you, little girl. Hyuga Chen reached out and squeezed Hanabi's face, and her little face pinched Yuhi. Hanabi was lying in Hyuga-chan's arms and wept. Change the way of crying, I don't like wheezing. Hyuga-chan said. Wu tilde it hurts. You bully me, I'm going to tell my father, and then let my father. She didn't know what to make her father do, who made her father so cowardly in front of Hyuga-chen. The little girl was crying in Hyuga-chen's arms, her clothes were wet with tears. At this time, Hyuga-chen could only raise her hand to surrender and quickly comfort the little girl. Women are all made of water. 7-year-old Hanabi's tears can already wash Hyuga-chen's clothes. I am so jealous of this little girl. Karen bit Kiba and glared at Hanabi angrily. Why couldn't she lie in Brother Chen's arms? Hanabi noticed Karen's eyes. A smug smile suddenly appeared on his face, and he made a face at Karen. Karen is so angry. If he didn't see Hanabi as young, he would definitely teach Hanabi a lesson. This little girl is so annoying. Next is the most interesting one, Gaara vs. Uchiha Sasuke. Many audiences are coming for Uchiha Sasuke. After all, Uchiha Sasuke is the descendant of the Uchiha family after the genocide, and he is also the genius that Konoha is famous for. But when the battle started, Uchiha Sasuke dropped the chain, and it was about to start. Uchiha Sasuke hadn't come yet. Examiner, Shiranui Genma, was holding 1,000 copies, and his brows gradually wrinkled. He was about to start. Uchiha Sasuke hadn't come yet. Time will not wait for him all the time. If Uchiha Sasuke is really late, it will be treated as a waiver. If Uchiha Sasuke abstains, no matter what others do, the Konoha commoners who come to watch Chunin exams will probably be scolded to death. After all, they paid for the tickets, and now they have been sitting here for a long time and only saw a game, but how angry they would be. Just when everyone couldn't wait, when Shiranui Genma was about to announce that Uchiha Sasuke abstained, Uchiha Sasuke suddenly fell from the sky, full of force. Seeing Uchiha Sasuke, Shiranui Genma finally breathed a sigh of relief and announced the start of the fight. Gaara the red panda looked at Uchiha Sasuke with a blank expression. In fact, the fate of the red panda Gaara is also very tragic, but there are many tragic people, especially in the Hokage world. There are several strong people in this world who did not have very miserable childhoods, and various tragedies continue, like a miserable conference. In the later stage, if you are not miserable enough, you are not even qualified to play. As a ruthless character, Gaara made a direct move. The sand formed a hand of sand, and shot down towards Uchiha Sasuke. Gaara attacked very decisively and successfully avoided Uchiha Sasuke's pretense. Uchiha Sasuke frowned. He hated people who didn't even give him the opportunity to pretend. How could he win without pretending to be a force to boost his morale? However, Sasuke Uchiha reacted very quickly and immediately avoided Gaara's sand hand. 3.4 Rain when sand. Gaara's attacks came one after another. Fortunately, Sasuke Uchiha had undergone special training, otherwise he might have been taken away by Gaara. Uchiha Sasuke uses Raiden Thunder style to stimulate the cells in his legs, and quickly dodges to prevent being hit. Sand-bound coffin. Sasuke Uchiha didn't notice for a while, wrapped in sand. Ha ha ha. Gaara showed a bloodthirsty smile on his face. No one could escape his move. Sand waterfall funeral. Blood splashed, blood mixed with sand and fell. Sasuke. Uzumaki Naruto stood up and shouted Yuhi, his good friend Sasuke died like this. However, Sasuke Uchiha will not die so easily. At the most critical moment just now, he used the avatar technique and successfully avoided it. Uchiha Sasuke was afraid, and he almost died. Chapter 380 Pierce a Kidney. Uchiha Sasuke double Tomo Sharingan turned on. His arms were wrapped around thunder, and a harsh sound was made under the current wrapping. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes narrowed on the stage. Isn't this Chidori from Kakashi? Kakashi taught Sasuke the ninjutsu he is most proud of. It seems that he values Uchiha Sasuke very much. To be honest, Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't really trust Uchiha Sasuke. After all, the destruction of the Uchiha family also has a relationship with Konoha's senior management. He had observed Uchiha Sasuke and understood that Uchiha Sasuke was a very hateful person. There are no eternal secrets in this world. Sooner or later, Sasuke Uchiha will know the truth. What will Sasuke Uchiha do then? It seems to remind Kakashi. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought silently. The battle continued on the field. Uchiha Sasuke shone with lightning and sprinted towards Gaara at high speed. Desert wave. The sand of the gourd behind Gaara poured out, forming a super hard protective wall to completely protect him. The annoying sand, break it for me. Chidori broke the protective wall formed by the sand and hit Gaara inside, successfully wounding Gaara, and the blood flowed out uncontrollably. Gaara looked at the blood in his hand and fell into madness. Oh wait, this was the second time he bled. The first time was in the Forest of Death, and he was beaten without any strength to fight back. Because of the emotional riot, the sand shukaku in his body was about to move, and an unknown chakra breath gushed from his body. Sarutobi Hiruzen sensed this ominous aura, stood up immediately, looked at the fourth generation of Kazekage and asked, Kazekage, you actually let the Jinchuriki column force enter Konoha? Human Jinchuriki column force is not terrible. The scary thing is that the human Jinchuriki column force enters the tailed beast form. If the human Jinchuriki column force goes berserk in the Konoha, it will be a disaster for the Konoha. Demonic illusion, the art of nirvana. Yakushi Kabuto sitting in the stands immediately used demonic illusion. The sky fell feathers, and then the ordinary people and most of the ninjas in the stands fell into a deep sleep. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt bad for a while. At this moment, his back felt horrified. He turned his body in an instant, and a kunai thorn was on Sarutobi Hiruzen's waist. This time, Sarutobi Hiruzen was asked for a kidney, which shows the ruthlessness of the person who shot it. But Rasa didn't just want Sarutobi Hiruzen's kidney. Originally, He wanted to kill Sarutobi Hiruzen directly. Pity that Sarutobi Hiruzen deviates because of his quick response, but it's not bad to give Sarutobi Hiruzen such a shot. At least it can weaken the strength of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Rasa, what do you mean? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked angrily. It's already like this, don't the 3 generations of Hokage still see what I mean? Rasa asked sarcastically. Aren't we allies? Why are we shooting against Konoha? Sarutobi Hiruzen's anger was indescribable. A contract is just a piece of paper. Can you expect a piece of paper to bind Sunagakure village? Rasa said disdainfully. At this time, Orochimaru also made his move. The ninjas of Sunagakure and Otogakure attacked together, and Konoha was in chaos. The serpent summoned by Orochimaru wreaked havoc among the Konoha. No, it's Orochimaru. Jiraiya above the stand was startled, and hurriedly shot out a few Sunagakure. Looking at the big snake in the distance, he channeled Toad Bunta out. Jiraiya, are you looking for me? Toad Bunta asked. Don't say more, let's deal with those raging stinky snakes first. Jiraiya said loudly, and by the way, toads such as Toad Jien and Toad Guang came out to help. Hyuga Chen sat here quietly watching the play. Hinata looked at Hyuga Chen, but did not move in the end. Hyuga Hiyashi stood up, and when he saw such a change, he realized that Hanabi was gone, and was immediately anxious. Just now I was just thinking about buying people's hearts and forgetting my daughter, and now I think about it. After looking around, seeing Hanabi and Hyuga Chen together, he was relieved. As long as he was with Hyuga Chen, Hanabi's safety would be guaranteed. Sarutobi-sensei, it's been a long time. Orochimaru walked out slowly and looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen calmly. Orochimaru really is you, I guess that there is a shadow of you here. Sarutobi Hiruzen clenched his fists angrily. At the same time, I was surprised because Orochimaru had completely turned into a woman at this time. If it weren't for the breath on his body, the way he spoke, and the habitual movements, Sarutobi Hiruzen might not be able to recognize it. Orochimaru ignored Sarutobi Hiruzen and looked at Rasa. Rasa, you go and deal with that idiot Jiraiya, and let me send the teacher to the first floor. Rasa is very upset. It's obviously a partnership, so why do you point fingers at me? I'm a dignified Kazekage, you're just a missing nin, are you qualified to point fingers at me? What, more, Sarutobi Hiruzen has just been stabbed in a kidney by me, and the fighting power must be greatly reduced, why should I deal with Jiraiya? Rasa felt that Sarutobi Hiruzen was pierced in a kidney, and felt that Sarutobi Hiruzen was easy to bully. In fact, if there is a real fight, the 3 generations of old men will break out, and Rasa who can definitely fight will be called Mom. Of course, it is useless for Rasa to call Mom. Sarutobi Hiruzen is known as a ninjutsu professor. Even if Orochimaru holds all kinds of trump cards, he does not dare to underestimate Sarutobi Hiruzen. Amir Rasa is really not an opponent. Could it be that you don't want to cooperate with Kazekage, the 4th generation? If you don't want to cooperate, I will leave immediately, and you can deal with Konoha yourself. Orochimaru said lightly. Rasa's face turned green, and he couldn't deal with Konoha himself in Sunagakure village, so he could only follow Orochimaru's command sullenly. However, when dealing with Jiraiya, he is not afraid of Rasa, the shadow of a village. If even Jiraiya can't deal with it, it will be useless. In fact, Rasa is really not Jiraiya's opponent. It is estimated that Rasa should be the weakest Kazekage in history. Jiraiya wanted to go to Orochimaru to settle the account, but was blocked by Rasa. 470 immediately became angry, although Rasa was indeed not stronger than Jiraiya, but it did not mean that he could not block Jiraiya. Otherwise, his Kazekage is really useless. Orochimaru glanced at Jiraiya. In fact, Orochimaru didn't expect Jiraiya to be in Konoha, but it didn't have much influence. 4 Purple Flame Formation. Orochimaru's 4 subordinates, Otogakure, use the enchantment technique to isolate the outsiders, leaving a battlefield for Orochimaru and Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orochimaru, I really regret not killing you. Sarutobi Hiruzen said in a deep voice, with a trace of pain in his eyes. Sarutobi Hiruzen regards Orochimaru as his most proud disciple, and even Sarutobi Hiruzen regards Orochimaru as his son. But he didn't expect Orochimaru to step into the evil way. Maybe Sarutobi Hiruzen also thought of it, but he didn't want to believe it and kept deceiving himself. It's useless to talk too much. Now that I'm still alive, it's too late. Orochimaru said lightly. Since you are going to attack Konoha, I will try my best to stop you. Sarutobi Hiruzen healed his body with medical ninjutsu. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen's medical ninjutsu is not very good, it is still possible to stop the bleeding temporarily. I'm a little embarrassed to deal with you who have already been injured. Orochimaru said, but there was no embarrassment on his face.